have seen them throw the ball more times than they have run the ball. So after the success the Cowboys had on the ground against Philadelphia with Young Springs and Newhouse, I would imagine that Landry's team will stay very basic and push the football on the ground and see if they can be very consistent, heavy, and physical.
The rest of the officiating crew that will join Bob Frederick, you saw Lou Palazzi, Sid Seaman, Dave Hawk, Bill Swanson, Vince Jacob, and Bob Workman. Mark Mosley will kick off for the Redskins, and there really is never any contest quite like it. Ron Springs is back deep for Dallas. A high kick, but short from Mosley, and out at the 22, Springs fumbles and gets back on top of it. And Dallas will operate from the 22. The Redskins lead the league in giveaway takeover percentage. They are plus 22. Roger Staubach told me how that Dallas offense will attack the Redskin defense before the game.
Well, the big thing is stay away from the turnovers like we did last time. They're, I guess, number 1 or 2 in the NFL for getting the turnover. So field position and not turning the ball over and having the ability to run the ball today are the key ingredients to beat the Redskins.
Field position is not that good as Staubach drops on first down and throws to Ron Springs. He'll have about 4, and that's all.
Here's the offensive line that did just a great job, and the Eagles said they just couldn't get rid of the blocks. Donovan, Scott, Fitzgerald, Rafferty, Wright, and B.J. Dupre, one of the real good blocking tight ends.
And the fellows who handled the ball, the receivers in the backs wide, are Tony Hill and Drew Pearson. There had been some doubt about his appearance. Quarterback, of course, is Roger Staubach. Ron Springs starting in place of Dorsett. And Newhouse operates with him on 2nd and 5. Joe Lavender, by the way, made the tackle on that first pass completion. That's Ron Springs, bang, and fumble, and the Redskins may have it. Redskin recovery made by linebacker Brad Dusek.
Young Springs now. Remember, he almost fumbled the opening kickoff, which was short. He'll run straight away. That's Butts working against Fitzgerald, against Rafferty. The ball is stripped away by Dyron Talbot. I think Dusek did fall on the ball. That's a 20th fumble recovered by the Washington Redskins.
The very thing that Staubach said they had to stay away from, they have committed. It's a Redskin first down at the Dallas 35. First down, John Riggins. Hit behind the line of scrimmage. Now, we talked to Staubach about how to attack the Redskin defense.
Equal time, huh?
What did Joe Theismann think about how to attack Dallas?
Well, pal, we've got to go after the Dallas defense the same way we did the last time we played them. Dallas is not the type of football team you can sit back and wait for them to make mistakes. Defensively, I know they're going to come at us. We've got to go attack them. We've got to move the ball around. We've got to make them think on their feet. They've got a lot of young people, a lot of patched up secondary. So it's important that we make them use their head instead of us worrying about things that'll happen.
And so Theismann will operate now on 2nd down. They need 8. Takes to Riggins. Outside to Ricky Thompson, and Thompson down inside the 30 to about the 27. Stopped by Aaron Kyle. Here's the Redskin offense.
Underrated offensive line. Hermeling, Saul, Kazeel, Williams, Stark, and of course the young rookie from San Diego State, Warren at tight end.
Danny Buggs, Ricky Thompson, the wide receivers, Theismann, Riggins, and Benny Malone. And now Malone comes out. And Ike Forte has replaced him along with Clarence Harmon.
And Harmon had 2 touchdown catches against Cincinnati a week ago and might be as good a 3rd down receiver as Preston Pearson.
3rd and 3 for Theismann and the Redskins. At the Dallas 27. They give to Ike Forte, and he is near and perhaps has a Redskin first down before he's tackled by Benny Barnes and Randy White. The Dallas defense.
Okay, Dutton at left defensive end. Larry Cole, who likes tackle. Randy White getting healthier every minute. And Harvey Martin, of course, coming on strong at defensive end.
Egman, Brunig, and Dede Lewis, the linebackers.
Here's the problem right here.
The secondary. Barnes and Kyle on the corners. They're used to being there. Dennis Thurman starting in place of first Charlie Waters, then Randy Hughes. He is the strong safety man. Not very big and certainly not very experienced in that spot. First down, Redskins. Riggins and Malone now operate behind Theismann. Aaron Kyle with very nearly a chance for an interception.
Danny Buggs runs a steep sideline, and this time Joe Theismann didn't set his feet very well and didn't look to see if the cornerback was hanging in there. And that time, number 25 was in great position. So one thing Theismann's been doing very well this year is not throwing it when it's really in trouble.
Oakland 7, Seattle nothing. The Raiders still alive and still in the playoff picture. Tampa Bay, as you probably know, has won. They won 3-0, and they are the NFC Central Division champion. Ricky Thompson, John McDaniel, the wide receivers for Washington. Theismann will drop 1 second down, look back the other way, and throws in the corner, overthrown. Headed for Ricky Thompson. Back there with him, Benny Barnes and Mike Hegman. Final score in Atlanta, 31-21. The Falcons over San Francisco.
John Dutton that time put good pressure on Joe Theismann. He and Larry Cole were right there. And very good coverage by Benny Barnes.
You saw Theismann blowing on his hands. Weather has taken a very sudden and very severe turn for the worse. It's supposed to be down in the mid-20s, very windy, although the wind doesn't become too much a factor inside this stadium. At kickoff, the temperature was 34 degrees and falling.
Theismann is really using his offensive backs now and getting them in the pass patterns more all the time.
Ike Forte and Clarence Herman are those backs this time. That is Forte being chased by Guy Brown, but he'll have the first down. Guy Brown just barely tripped up the ex-Razorback, a 14-yard gain.
This is a swing fan by a former Arkansas Razorback. A very quick release, a very safe pass. You can see Brown is beaten easily. He should have actually been probably starting out toward the flat as the play begins. Let's see what 59 does. He gets caught inside and now has too far to go. Good offensive call by the Redskin bench and good delivered ball by Theismann.
I'd like to welcome those of you who watched Atlanta and San Francisco to Texas Stadium in Irving. The score here is 0-0 with the Redskins on the move and the Ravens trying to get around the corner. Inside the 5, perhaps, or maybe just 2-5. Benny Barnes knocked him out of bounds.
Very careful. The Redskins now no longer feel like that they're in over their heads against anybody. They've beaten Cleveland this year. They've beaten Dallas this year. And that's a 228-pound running back who had one of the great years that a back has had in this league, John Riggins.
Good block by the tight end, Don Warren, to help set that up. 2nd and goal at the 4, just inside the 5, actually. Redskins and Cowboys battling for the NFC Eastern Division Championship. Harmon is on the left-hand flank. Riggins goes straight ahead and is hit about the 4. Fighting still is John Riggins. Big John has had a great year.
John Bruning came over the top, and I believe Dutton came under the pile. Let's see what happens. See if 78 goes under. 53 goes over the top. That's big. Dutton just shed the blocker. And now the middle linebacker finishes off. They've been tough inside the 5-yard line that Cowboys have. The Giants couldn't get in. Of course, last week they had a tremendous goal line stand against the Eagles.
3rd and goal from just outside the 3-yard line for Washington. No score with 11:25 left in the first quarter and a timeout taken by the Redskins. Theismann wants to talk it over with Jack Pardee. Redskins, of course, have to be concerned about what's happening in Chicago, too. And when last we heard, the Bears were beating St. Louis 28-0. And we'll keep track.
Thunderbird. Thunderbird. Spread your wings in the new 1980 Thunderbird. Introducing a Thunderbird of new contemporary size that shows its elegant heritage wherever you look. Outside, inside. Yet it's remarkably priced. And that includes automatic transmission, power steering, power brakes, vinyl roof, and more. The new size Thunderbird. A better idea for the 80s.
Here's to good friends.
The key's supposed to be under the steps.
I got
it. Hey, here's a note. Gentlemen, my country estate is at your disposal. There might even be a little something in the refrigerator regards hand.
Let it be low and brown.
Low and brown.
Oh, when you want the taste of a truly great American beer, tonight, let it be Low and Brow.
Here's the Hank. Wherever he is.
Low and brown.
Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire at Texas Stadium. That was incorrect information I gave to you about the Bears score. It's 21-6 Chicago. Third quarter, and that's the final. New England beat Minnesota 27-23. The last game for Jim Marshall.
Third and goal.
Heisman looking for some place to go. Will not come up with anything. We'll see Mosley. Larry Cole. Nobody open.
Mosley will come on. Watch the play that Randy White makes, number 54. He'll come right by Saul. And now Larry Cole forced him out, and Randy White chases him back in. And a very good play by the quarterback. He didn't throw it. Everybody's covered up. Let's see what happens. He wants to go on the outside to Bugs. Good play by White and by Cole.
The double team was on Larry Cole, and he beat them both. Mosley. He get one blocked, and he is true. Mark Mosley puts the Redskins on top 3-0, 24 yards out.
24th field goal out of 32 shots. He's like having some kind of a laser beam in your arsenal. The guy can kick it from just about anywhere inside of 60.
How many times have you wanted to pack it all in and take off? Well, with Hertz economy fares, the time to go is now. Our subcompacts are only $14.95 a day, weekends, and just $98 a week. All with free mileage. Larger cars are only $1 more a day. And if you rent for 3 weekdays or more, Hertz has special economy fares for that, too. Hertz economy fares. Now you can't afford not to rent from number one.
I'd like to talk to you about the Sony Betamax and an incredible feature called Beta Scan. I'm Tom Williams Sr., and if you know tennis, you know my son. Here's a cassette of his last championship match. Beta Scan lets me go fast forward and reverse, so I can skip the boring stuff like this long rally and stop when I come to the real exciting parts, like Tom Jr. here dashing onto the court to pick up the ball. Isn't Betamax terrific? It lets you see what you've been missing and miss what you don't want to see. It's from Sony, the one and only.
Tuesday, Jackson's first love returns from a sordid past, and he may make the biggest mistake of his life. The White Shadow moves to Tuesdays at 8, 7 Central and Mountain.
Those of you who watch New England defeat Minnesota, welcome to Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas, for the Cowboys and the Redskins. Score is 3-0. Mark Mosley, who's about to kick off, just kicked a field goal, and here is another high kick. Ron Springs takes it to 16 and cuts back to the inside, covers up the ball. This time is out to about the 30. Don't forget the bowl lineup, beginning with that one next Saturday.
Don't you forget, so we've got to go to El Paso and do that game.
That's one I promise you I won't forget.
It's at the Huskies and the Longhorns, huh?
Christmas Day, the Peach Bowl, Clemson against the Baylor Bears. Cotton Bowl, Houston, Nebraska, New Year's Day. Right now it's first down, Dallas. Own 30. Woods Johnson in motion has replaced Drew Pearson. Not much doing. Ron Springs, the ball carrier, stopped by Coy Bacon.
Coy Bacon, the great pass rusher for the Redskins, usually takes an outside course. That time he played it inside. And the play looked to me like it was awfully slow coming off the snap. Feel like Dallas is a little tentative and sort of touching instead of cracking right now?
So far, 2nd and 10, no gain. Drew Pearson is back in the game now, along with Doug Cosby, another tight end. Staubach keeps one lone setback and drops and throws outside to Jay Salvi, who has it for Dallas first down out of bounds over in front of the Dallas bench. That game in Chicago at Soldier Field is now apparently out of hand. 28-6, the Bears over the Cardinals. So those of you who've been watching that game, welcome to Texas Stadium. Pat Summerall with Tom Brookshire. Looks like we could be in Chicago. The temperature here dropping very severely since early morning and last night. Career marks of Roger Staubach.
But the toughest games he's had in this league are against the Washington Redskins.
His poorest record since he's been in the NFL has been against the Redskins. 8-7-1, in fact. Olkowitz made the tackle, but Springs, who ran so well last week against Philadelphia, runs hard. 8-yard pickup.
And he cut back against the grain. They probably let Butts, the big nose man for the Redskins, take the block and play the pressure, and the young man from Ohio State cut behind him. He looks like and runs like a veteran running back. But when he fumbles like a rookie sometimes.
When everybody fumbles, it's like a rookie, I guess. Second down and 2. Newhouse is in front of Springs as Drew Pearson comes in motion. And this is Newhouse. Close to a first down, but might be a football shy. Olkowitz again on the tackle.
There's our friend Whistling Ray. He chased some Indian by here earlier that I take for granted it was somebody that represented Washington, but quite a battle.
Ray was losing ground, I noticed that.
But he never quit chasing.
Jack Pardee. If he's not the coach of the year in the NFC, perhaps it'll be Dick Vermeil. Either one of them could get my vote. Salvi, Doug Cosby, and Billy Joe Dupree, all 3 Dallas tight ends in this offensive setup right here. This is Newhouse. He might have just gotten enough.
Fumble.
Redskins are saying perhaps the ball was loose and we got it.
That Olkowitz, the young rookie linebacker out of Maryland, is some kind of a great tackler.
Seattle has tied Oakland 7-7. Dave Butts, by the way, was on the bottom of that pile for the Redskins.
Butts, by the way, his numbers are 295 lbs. That's pounds. What's 65? They've got him on the roster 10 pounds under his playing weight. They got him at 285, which might make you mad.
Just got under Newhouse. Dallas has picked up the first down, just barely. Amazing year for the Washington Redskins. In the preseason picks, nobody thought they'd be 500. Now they're fighting for the NFC's Eastern Division title. Staubach will throw on first down. He has good protection, and he has Tony Hill. The ball just deflected at the last second by Olkowitz. He just got a hand on it.
It's a good thing he did, because Drew Pearson, number 88, you see coming back to the huddle, had cleared the right side out, and Tony Hill was coming under. And he usually takes that one full out and flat wide open. Here's number 88 going and clearing out. And to the top left of your screen right now, number 80 is really steaming across the middle. Olkowitz makes a great play.
Does it look to me, after watching that replay, that Drew Pearson is running quite as confidently as he might have before he injured that knee. 2nd and 10 for Dallas. The handoff is to Newhouse. Fumble. Washington has it back. The 2nd Dallas turnover. And the 2nd Redskin recovery. Brad Dusek again made the recovery. That's his 2nd.
A 21st fumble lost by the Cowboys this year. And this time, Newhouse seemed to be like he was trying to get both arms around it, and that's not the way to protect the ball either. Either elbow, then it'll cost you a fumble.
3-0 Washington.
Recently, a landmark football game was played. Landmark not because of the way it was played on the field, but because of the way it was played on TV. You see, this was the country's first network telecast transmitted over cables made up of hair-thin optical fibers. Cables which will eventually carry thousands of times more information without taking up any more space. G? No, GTE.
The satisfaction from the job, per se, from being a State Farm agent, comes, for me at any rate, from dealing with people. I try to treat them exactly the same way that I would like to be treated, so that when they leave my office, they feel, hey, this guy took care of me. I think people expect great service from State Farm. Our reputation is built on it, and it's my job to see that they get that service.
And like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Dyron Talbert.
Number 72 in your program and your heart. Boy, he's been a great player, though, for quite a while.
Not necessarily a Cowboy favorite.
Or a good friend of Rogers.
First and 10 for the Redskins after that fumble recovery by Dusek. The line of scrimmage, their own 43. Theismann. They got 3 wide receivers operating, and Theismann will go. He has one of those open. Buggs is open. Danny Buggs got behind Aaron Kyle, and the safety man couldn't get over to help. Cliff Harris knocked him out of bounds.
That time, it looked like Kyle took some short fake, and Theismann wanted to go for 88 all the way. Let's see what Buggs does. He should have deep help. I believe Kyle thought he had corner help by Harris, and he just didn't get there in time. Ball was thrown right on the money. Catch number 45 for Danny Buggs. He's having a great year.
39-yard pickup, the best year Danny Buggs has ever had. He was almost cut, in fact, in training camp.
The Giants didn't let him play for them, did they?
The Eagles lead Houston 6-0. First quarter at the Astrodome. Ready Malone. Here's John Riggins. Riggins thunders inside the 10 to about the 4. Cliff Harris made a tackle. Redskins on the move.
Big fella averaged 4.2 yards a shot. Long run of 33. He's had 1,000 yards 3 different times. Once with the Jets and twice with the Redskins. I think there may be a flag on this. It looks like they're going to arbitrate with... It's against Dallas. But he is a good-looking runner. He's a great receiver. I'm talking about John Riggins. There's Randy Hughes there that's dressed like John Wayne.
It'll be first and goal. And they decide not to accept.
Foul. Number 50 on the defense. Use of the elbow to the man's head. First down and goal.
Randy White used an elbow on somebody's head.
So it'll be first and goal from the 2. And here is Benny Malone. And Malone does not quite make it. He's close. Redskins already lead 3-0. Guy Brown tripped him up. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited.
Rams with an early lead over New Orleans.
They've already locked up the NFC Western Championship. They don't know exactly where they'll play yet. Riggins and Malone deep. Theismann to roll. And rolls into the end zone. D.D. Lewis made a dive at him, but Joe Theismann, who is a marvelous athlete, scores for the Redskins.
This year, Theismann has looked a lot like Fran Tarkenton, except he's a little better athlete than Fran. 191 or 2-pounder, 6'1". And this time he stuck it in and just beat D.D. to the flag. Redskins look like they have come to town to lay a little hurt on.
Right now, it's 9-0 Washington with 7 minutes and 10 seconds still left to play in the first quarter. Mark Mosley with Theismann, who just scored holding. The kick is, of course, good. Number 66 in a row for Mark Mosley. That's high in the league this year. 4 plays, they went 57 yards after the fumble recovery by Dusek. Key play, Theismann to Buggs.
Here's 2 good friends.
Merry Christmas.
Tonight is kind of special.
Where do you think you're going? Merry Christmas.
The beer will pour. Must say something more somehow. So tonight,
Well, it's been a good year.
It sure has.
I got it.
Here's to good friends. Good friends.
My parents bought me a Pinto when I graduated from high school because they thought it would be a perfect car for college. And my sister agrees.
Right, I think it's perfect too. And my sister agrees.
And my sister agrees.
Mine too.
Mine too!
Well, I guess you can call us N8 Pinto sorority.
Join the Pinto family. The 1980 Pinto with 40 standard features. Compare Pinto. It may be the best small car value in America.
We've always wanted to be on TV. Thanks,
Next Saturday at 1:30 Eastern, CBS Sports presents the Sun Bowl from El Paso, Texas, with the Washington Huskies taking on the Longhorns of Texas. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
The man in the Cowboy hat, standing behind number 32, Dennis Thurman, is Randy Hughes, the injured safety man who was hurt last week against Philadelphia.
Very painful dislocation of the shoulder last week.
Line drive kickoff this time by Mosley. Bounces to Springs at the 8. And the Wild Bunch takes him down just outside the 20. Those Redskins special teams, as they always have been, very effective. Ray Waddy was the tackler. Exactly 7 minutes left to play in the first quarter, and the Redskins lead 10-0.
Rayfield Wright is in at right tackle, and the softness that the Cowboys have shown is not on the defensive side as much as this offensive lineup right now you're looking at. They have not really fired out and popped these guys, and if they don't, the Redskins will just lean on them and take 3 points every chance they get.
Double tight end now with Billy Joe Dupree lined up on the right side and Doug Crosby on the left. And out Billy Joe comes in motion, and it'll be Ron Springs. Hit by Olkowitz in the backfield, but Springs struggles ahead for about 4.
I was told that Ron Springs at 205 pounds was on the 440-meter relay team at Ohio State. He's about a 4'5", 40 man, but he is a good-looking young athlete. Drags Olkowitz along with him, doesn't he?
Very strong. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Dallas offensive unit. Clock running at 6.5 minutes left to play for the NFC's Eastern Division Championship. The Redskins and the Cowboys, from the Dallas point of view, it's never come down to this before. When they faced who they had to beat in the last game. Staubach has the ball batted away by number 71, Carl Lorch. Newhouse, the intended receiver.
Even Roger looks like he's sort of reluctant to throw the ball. Watch this from the eye. Butts number 65 picked up by Springs. Roger doesn't hurry the throw. It doesn't even really have much pep in it. It was easily blocked by Lorch.
Newhouse, who was the intended receiver and who injured his sore leg last week against Philadelphia. There's John Riggins on a cold day at Texas Stadium, getting a little extra oxygen. It'll be 3rd and 6. Preston Pearson is lined up to the right side of the Dallas shotgun offense. It's Preston. Inside the 50 to the 47 is Preston Pearson. Uncanny how he gets open.
And it's uncanny how Staubach comes up with 3rd down conversions. That NFL leader is the Dallas Cowboy team with 49%. That time Pearson got on Brad Dusick, the linebacker, and just beat him.
The 2 safety men made the tackle on Preston Pearson that time, Tony Peters and Mark Murphy.
The ball was thrown very well and right on the money.
Nothing tentative about that one.
They needed that.
John Fitzgerald, the offensive center, up over the ball. Butch Johnson and Tony Hill are the wide receivers now. Butch Johnson in motion. And it'll be Springs, and Springs hit behind the line of scrimmage by Lorch. Lurched forward before he stopped by Dyron Talbert.
Trying to just trap the defensive left end. There's 65 Butts. They're trying to take him from the outside. He spins away, and Lorch just throws Billy Joe Dupree back into the hole. Not a bad defensive play for the Skins. Here you are, right down with them. The big Bulls and the Brahmas right here. My heavens.
On 2nd down, Staubach gives to Springs. He needs 7 for the first, and he might have it. He's close to it. Olkowitz on the tackle again, and he's made a lot.
Olkowitz is the leading solo tackler on this Redskin team, even though he's a rookie. Now, he weighs about 217. Bench presses over 450. He gets rid of Fitzgerald. Watch young Springs take him with him for a ride. I mean, another 3 yards on it.
6 carries for 26 yards for Ron Springs, who's about a half yard short of a first down. Dallas 2 for 2 on those key conversions. Double tight end, 3 tight ends, in fact. Saldi is lined up on the left flank. Just over 4 minutes left to play first quarter. Redskins lead 10-0. It is Newhouse, and he struggles close to it. He might just barely have it again. Watch the middle linebacker, Olkowitz.
Olkowitz may be closer to the line of scrimmage than he likes to play. This is pretty deep. He plays about a half a yard deeper than most linebackers because he likes to run at the line of scrimmage. A lot like Kuykendall with Atlanta and a few other wild linebackers. Good tackle.
They'll bring out the sticks.
And Olkowitz was a free agent. He couldn't find the Redskin office from Maryland when he came over to sign.
He was in Jerry Claiborne's weight room most of the time when he was at Maryland. And obviously they did a pretty good job in developing that young man. Here's the first down carry by Newhouse again. And as I said, he just barely got it. Olkowitz met him in the hole pretty solidly.
First down pass. Rogers been doing it a little bit today.
He'll operate from the 37. If he does, they have two tight ends in the contest. Doug Cosby and Billy Joe Dupree. It's Newhouse. And nothing. Pete Wysocki is number 50, who took him down after he was hit right at the line of scrimmage and bounced off somebody.
Boy, Dave Butts just came across the line of scrimmage and took Scott, the guard, right back into the play. Watch Talbot get tangled up with Scott, and Butts just flowed right into it, and then Wysocki finished.
You know, you can tell from the way those two tackles, Butts and Talbot, line up. They're on the inside shoulders of the guards, and that's why Olkowitz can get away with playing so deep.
Nobody gets through to him, right?
That's right. On second down, Staubach will throw and does. Outside, Drew Pearson knocked away by Lamar Parrish.
Well, the Pro Bowl selection committee decided that 3 of the secondary members of the Redskins would go to the Pro Bowl. Lamar Parrish, whom you just saw, make a great play on Pearson. Lavender, and of course Kenny Houston, who is injured right now with a fractured right arm.
That's pretty good compliment to that secondary, and the Seahawks 10, Oakland 7 first quarter. Oakland still with playoff hopes. The other member of the Redskins who will go to the Pro Bowl, by the way, is the kicker, Mark Mosley. Is that ever deserved? Fitzgerald with the one-handed shotgun snap, which is true. The blitz comes at Staubach. Saldi is open, and he can't quite get there.
Tony Peters, the substitute safety man in there for Houston, was beaten by Saldi. From the shotgun, here comes the twist, the defensive maneuver. Bacon has handled a little bit of pressure. Ball is simply overthrown, just wide of Saldi, who was open.
The Redskins blitz both of their outside linebackers and put a little pressure on Roger. Danny White in the game, not Raphael Septien. It would be a long field goal for Septien if he tried to attempt it too long, in the opinion of Tom Landry at least, and Danny White stands just outside midfield.
He kicked 20 out inside the 20. He's probably the most accurate of all the kickers in the NFC right now.
Dallas with a little confusion on their punting team, and they took too much time on the 30-second clock, and they'll move it back 5 yards. Wade Manning was the Cowboy number 22. You saw sprinting.
On the offense, 4th down.
Saw sprinting across the field just before the time expired.
I don't think that was intentional, though. They've had a 12th man on the field against Houston, and they had 10 against the Eagles last week, and the Eagles thought they had 13. They've had a few problems, logistics.
Danny White aiming for the sideline, and that looks like it's going to be a pretty good effort. Just barely went into the end zone, just barely, and they'll operate from the 20. Jack Pardee's Redskins leading 10-0 with 2:39 left to play in the first quarter. Redskins are represented but challenged.
It's like a pretty primitive weapon that the Redskin has there.
CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Time has super skates, the Pacific Synchronized Swimming Championships, and a report on CBS Sports Spectacular on Too Tall Jones' return to Dallas for his recent bout, along with a look at the developments in his career. He might be with us a little bit later. Here's Theismann trying to set up a screen, and does. That was Bobby Hammond.
Great play by Aaron Kyle, the cornerback. Want to see two guys slip box and make a tackle on the screen. This should have been a good call, because you know Dallas wants to put some heat on Theismann. Now watch this. The blockers simply not be able to get Kyle or D.D. Lewis either one. Double team.
What looked like it might be a substantial gain turns out to be just 4. So it's 2nd and 6. Clock running with just 2 minutes left to play. In the first quarter, Riggins and Malone now the running backs, and now it's just Riggins. Right into Harvey Martin first, and he got some help quickly.
This time Dallas had everybody off the line of scrimmage a little bit, so there was some room. And you'll see that the charge by Harvey's right down inside did not give any ground, and he and Randy White just completely sealed off that hole.
Joe Theismann now is 4 out of 6. They have picked up 62 yards in the air. Washington 2 out of 3 on their 3rd down conversions. And this will probably be pass number 7 for Theismann. Operating from his own 24-yard line with clock ticking down in the first quarter. Theismann straight back. Throws and knocked down by Aaron Kyle. Intended for John McDaniel. Kyle just got a hand on it.
That time the zone rolled right up to the strong side, and Joe Theismann must start looking over this zone and stop throwing right into it. He gets away with again. He dodged the bullet twice now.
So Mike Bragg comes on to kick. His average for the year, 38.5 yards. He was hitting well before the game, but this one is not that good. That's Wade Manning. Fumble again. Dallas lost it again, but I think this time they might have gotten it back. The Redskins have already recovered 2.
And they're looking for more. And that can prey on your mind. Watch this now. He's thinking, okay, all I've got to do is make one move, and he gets a little opening, and now he forgets about covering it up. And the Redskins are looking for that hog bladder.
They're the best at it. Steve Wilson, the other safety man, made the recovery tonight on CBS. First 60 minutes, followed by Archie Bunker's place One Day at a Time, and the 4th annual Circus at Star. Ronnie Anderson is one of those.
I certainly hope so.
Eric Estrada will be with her. Newhouse again hit behind the line of scrimmage, this time by Coy Bacon, who closed down quickly. Like a Redskin might be hurt up at the top of your picture. Olkowitz, I think, is the man who is shaken up.
Roger Staubach has thrown 7 times and completed 3 for 45 yards. Now here he's trying to assert himself, and Coy Bacon came from the outside and was never touched by Donovan, who must have blocked down on the inside. Game number 16, folks. There's the young rookie from Maryland.
Olkowitz got hit by his own man, who was blocked, I believe, by Herbert Scott into him. And it looked like his knee buckled. Probably Darren Talbert that hit him.
Right to the right. It's Donovan. I believe it's
Paul Smith.
It's Paul Smith that's sort of rolling over as he's being blocked onto the left knee.
And you can see it buckle. That's the problem. The wild card game will be next Sunday, one of them.
Where?
NFC, we're not sure where. Most likely, it'll be in Philadelphia.
Not a chance that a team would go to the wrong stadium with all of this. You could make the reservations and just go. I said it was sort of a good sign that Olkowitz was bending the left knee, and he's going to walk off on it, which is really a good sign.
The NBA on CBS on Christmas Day. Dr. J will pay a house call to Washington.
And Dr. Dunk, Mr. Dawkins, gets Elvin Hayes.
I told you it was cold. It'll be 2nd and 7, Dallas. At the Redskin 47, 35 seconds left to play first quarter. Redskins up 10-0. Don Hover, number 58, has replaced Olkowitz in the middle, and Staubach comes straight back and throws to the outside for Drew Pearson. Caught but out of bounds. No good. Lavender right there with him.
Great coverage by the former basketball player from San Diego State. The ball is thrown a little hard and high, and once in a while when Staubach has problems, he throws high and hot. But this is great coverage. A good catch. It's simply a battle of the micrometer to decide if he was in or out, but he was out. missed out. He didn't even have one foot in.
No. 3rd and 7. From the 47, and again, Preston Pearson. This time he's lined up in the slot to the left. Draw back from the shotgun. This time the Redskins don't blitz it. And the Cowboy receiver, who is supposed to be Drew Pearson, slipped down. He is not 100%.
And you know, the rug here at Texas Stadium is still a little bit damp, even though it hasn't rained in a couple of days. And if you get on the side of these shoes, sometimes you'll lose the footing. I believe Drew was trying to run a corner and just slipped. At least that's where Roger threw the ball.
Again, it's Joe Lavender who was involved in the coverage. Bobby Hammond back deep for the Redskins, number 34, and Danny White will kick for Dallas. First punt just barely went out of bounds, and the Redskins operated from their 20. They're trying to block this. Oh, and a rocket from Danny White. Well into the end zone this time. 47-yard punt, but the Redskins again will not be inside the 20. They'll start at the 20. 8 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
Advantage in first quarter big to the Redskins. Not only have they taken advantage of the 2 fumbles and gotten 10 points, but they've stopped Dallas in their tracks twice right around midfield. Good quarter.
Dallas had said and felt going in after their performance against Philadelphia that their running game had come back, and that's one of the things that they thought they had to do effectively against the Redskins. They haven't been able to do it so far. Washington's defense has been solid. That's Malone, and Malone struggles for a couple before the middle of the Dallas defense converges on him. Working on Neil Oakowitz over on the bench. It was his left knee that was injured.
You feel he'll come back rather shortly, don't you?
I would think so. He got up and walked off under his own power. That's the end of the first quarter. Washington 10 and the Cowboys nothing.
What comes out of a loudspeaker is only as impressive as what goes into it. Pioneer's HPM speakers have a unique super tweeter that breathes to produce incredible highs. Its driver delivers remarkably crisp mid-range. Its bass you not only hear, but feel. So instead of sounding great on part of the music, HPM speakers sound great on all of it. Pioneer, we bring it back alive.
If a man's slacks fit him too close for comfort, if he just can't stand to sit, then he needs Levi's Action Slacks, perhaps the most comfortable slacks a man can wear. The waistband and fabric stretch to give you more room when you need it.
Comfortable? Comfortable. I could sit through a double feature now. Oh.
Levi's Action Slacks from Levi's Sportswear, where quality never goes out of style.
I do the Continental to ensure my accidental.
We do the Continental to ensure our residential.
I do the Continental to ensure my developmental. They can insure all I have to insure.
I do the Continental to ensure my instrumental.
I do the Continental to ensure my transportational.
Join the over 4 million satisfied Continental insurance policyholders.
Do the Continental.
Texas Stadium in Irving, Texas, it's the Cowboys and the Redskins, with Washington leading Dallas 10-0.
Those 2 fumbles turned into 10 points, pretty even on yardage, Patrick.
That's been one of the keys to the Washington success, taking advantage of turnovers. They've done it better than anybody else. Theismann goes straight back into the blitz pressure, but he gets it off to Danny Buggs, and it'll be a Redskin first down. Theismann looking very cool and collected.
Redskin offense caught the dog from the right side of your screen. You'll see Rudy going up the middle, the linebacker. Here comes D.D. Lewis, picked up by Malone, and the ball thrown quickly to the outside.
Aaron Kyle with the lone coverage. It is cold and getting colder in Texas, but some of the fans are equipped.
I'd say they are.
Bruised knee is the information we got on the condition of Neil Oakowitz. 3 wide receivers in the game for Washington, and again they fake the blitz. They do, and Theismann goes down in the hands of D.D. Lewis and John Dutton.
Let's watch It's Big John Dutton now, a number 1 and a number 2. And the big fella's just getting himself into shape. Here he's working against George Stark. A good rush, and Dede Lewis is there firing. And Theismann that time started to throw it to Williams, his offensive right guard, and luckily he didn't throw it. Would have been a penalty.
Have to give a hurry to Larry Cole, too. I think Theismann might have been able to get rid of it if Larry hadn't had his hand in his face. Ike Forte and Clarence Harmon come in now. The Redskin offensive picture. 2nd and 21. That's the first quarter statistical situation. Theismann again in the blitz again. He gets rid of it. And he has Clarence Harmon, who's done a whale of a job in that category. Harmon is hit by Mitchell and tracked pretty good.
Harmon has 5 touchdown catches already this year. This is the perfect call. The blitz is picked up. You can see linebackers coming, all being cut down. The ball is thrown quickly, but not in a panic by Theismann. He's jolted out of bounds, but that was a good reception.
A 20-yard pickup to make it 3rd and 1 for the Redskins now. A good call by Theismann, or Joe Walton won.
Is that Bruce Hunter that knocked him out of bounds, 57?
No, it was Aaron Mitchell. It'll be a Redskin first down, or very, very close to it, as Riggins slants off the right side. I think they have it.
Pat, I was talking to Joe Walton before the game, the offensive coordinator that's worked so well with Theismann and Riggins, and his wife, his lovely wife, gave him a bracelet this morning, and he showed me what it said on the bracelet. It said, short passes and trick plays. That was the diagnosis for today.
35-6. The Bears over St. Louis now. So the Bears with their margin now of 29 points over the Cardinals. First down from Riggins.
Okay, no matter how you get it, you get it. Here it is. Theismann is 6 of 9 for 92 yards. Roger Staubach 3 of 9 for 45 yards.
Bobby Hammond in the backfield now with Riggins. Ricky Thompson now goes in motion to the left. Pitch out Hammond. Hammond is hit quickly by Benny Barnes on an excellent play. Just excellent.
It's a great play by Benny Barnes. The blocker goes out. Here's the toss play. Watch the blocker come out. 74 is working. Benny just gives him a forearm shiver on George Stark and steps right inside and makes the tackle. Barnes has only given up about 55 pounds. Good play.
Can't do it much better, can you?
No.
2nd and 8. Benny Malone and Riggins together in the backfield behind Theismann now. 3 wide receivers. And straight back is Theismann up the middle. It's Malone, and he's got some room. Benny Malone might score. Malone, touchdown, Redskin. 55 yards and a touchdown from Theismann to Malone. And Jack Pardee going down to join in that celebration.
Malone had a long gainer of 25 yards on receptions, but this one was big because Dede Lewis was trailing him very closely until he makes the catch. The Malone brothers, they've always been battlers. A check out, now he swings across the middle. Look at Dede Lewis. There's the gamble and the desperation shove, and now it's a horse race. Number 25, over 50 yards for a big touchdown. The Skins are red hot.
John McDaniel is the man who gave Cliff Harris that little nudge that prevented him from even a shot at Malone. Mark Mosley hits, and it's 17-0 Washington.
You're behind the Dallas defense. You're in the secondary, and here's what you see. You wouldn't want to see this one over again. This play's supposed to go about 8 yards.
It went 55.
It's the Delco Freedom Battery Sale. What do you want from a car battery, America?
Freedom to start in the cold. Thanks, Delco.
And you? Freedom from adding water. Thanks, Delco. Then come on to the Delco Freedom Battery Sale. AC UC Delco is making it possible for you to save on the powerful never-add-water Delco Freedom Battery. At participating outlets, when you see the Delco Freedom Battery sale poster.
Thanks, Delco!
One day I'm heading out of Buffalo and my rig won't start up. So this guy comes along and asks me, do I want to jump? I had this big rig, but he had the go-getter. Ward's go-getter plus power. Ward's best, with more cranking power for more starting power. Without that, even a warranty can leave you out in the cold. Warranties don't start cars, batteries do. And the Go-Getter Plus has the power to get you going, even in Buffalo.
Ward's, we do our best for you.
Mosley set to kick off. The number of plays it took were 7. They went 80 yards in 2 minutes, 1 second. There's still 13:07 left to play in the first half. But the Redskins, red hot, lead 17-0.
2 fumbles and 2 punts by the Dallas offense.
Ron Springs bobbles for a second, now picks it up. Gets out near the 30, where Dallas will operate. On 60 Minutes, following football 4 years ago, a giant American chemical company was told by one of its own engineers that it was slowly contaminating water wells adjoining the plant. Did the company do anything about it? Watch 60 Minutes tonight.
60 Minutes will find out if they did anything about it. One of the great shows on American television.
Benny Malone, whose brother Art Malone was a heck of a football player himself. 7-7. The Saints and the Rams. Drew Pearson limps back in motion. Springs on the carry, and Springs for about 4. Bouncing out before Coy Bacon put the clamp on him.
12:54 left in the first half. Now the Skins will sort of lay those big linemen on top of you and just absorb a little of the rushing game to keep you off the board in big chunks. Rodgers got to try to pull somebody in, suck somebody into the wrong defense, and get on the board. They need 7 points badly, and Tom Landry knows it.
Coy Bacon, like he might have bruised his shoulder a little bit, and Joe Jones has gone into the Redskin defensive setup at left defensive end. Lorch moves over to right. Second down. Staubach drops. Throws the screen pass out to Springs. He's got some blockers in front. Steps out of one of them and runs. Springs with an excellent move out to about the 48. Lavender. He jumped over.
He steps right over Tony Peters. I said he was a member of the 440 relay team. Maybe it was a high hurdles. Watch what he does. A good call here by Roger. A screen. A good rush here by Joe Jones, who plays the rush very well on passes. Watch this move right here. Up and over. Didn't even get touched. He's still free to run even out in the park. Play a one-hand touch.
Just shy of the 48-yard line. As Dallas again goes with that double tight end setup. Springs will carry on first down, chased by Olkowitz, but Springs will get about 4 more. Monty Coleman, number 51, takes him out of bounds.
This Redskin defensive team has had 21 sacks in their last 4 football games, including, of course, the big 6-sack day they had against these Cowboys in Washington. They are literally on fire on defense right now.
Amazing the job they have done. They have 1 draft choice playing on offense for their starting 22. None on defense. Scott Laidlaw and Ron Springs down the backs. Laidlaw comes out of the backfield. Springs stays in the pocket. That's Laidlaw. Juggled momentarily, but did hang on, I believe. Joe Lavender knocked him out of bounds.
The thing I keep thinking about Dallas is the rumble they had in Philadelphia a week ago Saturday must take a lot out of you, not only physically as people went on and off the field on stretchers, but emotionally. It may take them a while to get it back today. It looks like they're beginning to move a little bit now.
Linebacker Brad Dusek was a man rubbing his leg over on the sideline. It'll be 31. First half. Newhouse and Springs setbacks behind. Here's Marcus Salvi coming in motion. And a handoff is to Springs. And Springs breaks in or inside the 40. Plenty enough for a first down for Dallas.
Great body angle that time for the rookie. He keeps the head down. Puts the helmet in. It's helmet to helmet, and if you tackle him, you get nothing but shoulder pads and the plastic. Let's take a look at it now. Watch how the rookie runs it. Cut him back. This is not against the 34, so he has to find a hole, and Newhouse takes him right through it. This kind of guys will butt you.
Safety man Mark Murphy finally made the tackle on Ron Springs. First down Dallas at the Redskin 37. By far their best offensive thrust of the afternoon. Redskins up those 17-0. Scott Laidlaw on the left flank trying to block in front of Springs, and Springs looking to throw and can with his left hand. Couldn't get rid of it. Little bit slow developing.
Wysocki made the tackle. He was looking for Drew Pearson, number 88. It didn't make it really look like the run. It looks like he's tiptoeing just a little bit. Against St. Louis, he made it look like a good run and threw the touchdown pass. Did he have protection? Let's see if Laidlaw helped him out on this. Wysocki was making the charge, and defense beats the offense, huh?
Loss of 4 on the attempted option pass. Out wide to the right, Tony Hill and Drew Pearson as Springs and Laidlaw remain the setback. Throw back. Redskins in a blitz. Throw back throw. That's Tony Hill. Not enough for a first. Olkowitz, who's back in the game, makes the tackle.
Tony Hill's been held to like 6 catches in the last 3 football games.
Still trying to get up there to that 1,000-yard level where Drew Pearson already is. He needed 52 yards to go over 1,000 today. 3rd and 6 now after that pass completion from Roger Staubach to Tony Hill. Pearson in the backfield, set up on the right flank. Springs on the left side. Staubach from the shotgun. Springs stays on his feet, absorbs a couple of licks, but has a Dallas first down. Ray Waddy hit him, and Ray Waddy is still down.
Preston Pearson on the right and Springs on the left, and Roger Staubach didn't look anywhere else. He watched him look right at number 20 all the way from the line of scrimmage, waiting for him to break out. He's not even trying to fool anybody. He knows the young man can catch it. He also knows he's very strong.
Monty Coleman with a little bit of an overhead right to Springs on the way down here. Watch Coleman, 51.
We'll ask Too Tall Jones about that in a few minutes, huh?
He just joined us. Waddy is still down. 17-0 Washington.
I'm Cheryl Teague. I feel at home in front of the camera. But behind the camera, I don't know the difference between a lens opening and a Broadway opening. So I rely on my Olympus OM10. My trusty OM10 gets great shots automatically. My OM10 has this smart little red light that tells me when it's okay to shoot. Oh, it's okay to shoot. Hold it, fellas. With Olympus OM10, great shots automatically.
Okay, men. When we see the ambassador's Mercedes, we roll.
The surprisingly affordable Granada, sometimes mistaken for a Mercedes.
There he is. Roll.
Albert, are you speeding?
No, dear.
People in Washington sure are friendly.
I think they like our new Granada.
Are you sure this is the way to the Applebaum's new house?
I hope so.
Oh, look, Albert. They bought a Colonial.
The 1980 Ford Granada, a modern American classic.
Christmas Day at 12:30 Eastern. Dr. J makes a house call on Washington. It's the 76ers and Bullets. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
There he is.
Here is Ed Jones. And we'll be having a chance.
Tall.
He is named correctly, I'll tell you that. We'll be having a chance to chat with him about his career and the pugilistic sport. First and 10, Robert Newhouse and Ron Springs in the backfield behind Staubach. 24-yard line is Newhouse. Newhouse is down to about the 16. Mark Murphy again on the tackle. Olkowitz helped out.
Good job by Scott and Fitzgerald. Watch Fitzgerald go over and take Darwin Talbot. That freed Scott to go through on the middle linebacker, Olkowitz, and they did a great job. Good, fast, quick-hitting play, and it looks like the Cowboys now mean business on the line of scrimmage a little bit, huh?
Robert Newhouse this year, which hasn't been one of his better ones. Brad Dusek has left the Washington bench and gone to the locker room for checkups. 2nd and 2, Staubach Morgan. Springs carries. Springs was tripped up in the backfield. The first man back there, I believe, was Dave Butts, who hit him behind the line of scrimmage. Lorch finally made the tackle.
And Butts is humongous, isn't he?
Oh, he's a mountain.
He just put his head down that time and came right under the fullback. What's the right part of your screen? That's 65. He's always seemed like such a nice, gentle fellow. Good play.
Like Fitzgerald tried to cut him off, but that's a pretty tough poke to cut off. 295. That'll be 3rd down and 3 as Billy Joe Dupree operates in motion and Staubach on the forward handoff. He slipped down. He's inside the 10 to about the 8. Tony Peters put the clamp on him, but Springs got the good yardage. That's a good-looking play.
Want to see two guards get out in front in a hurry. 164 and 68. Rafferty and Scott. Wham! Inside handoff in the shotgun, and those guards are out in front. They split and divide. That's a heck of a play.
If he hadn't slipped, it might have been an even better play. He got down to the 7-yard line where it'll be 1st and goal, Dallas. 5:40 left to play first half. The Redskins lead the Cowboys 17-0. Springs again, and Springs unloads down to about the 2.
This is the way Dallas wanted to play the football game all along. Run the football, pick up 5, 6, and 7 at a shot, and just keep the ball all day. They didn't want to have to throw it 40 times.
Inside the 1, look at this run by Springs.
And you win it and lose them right on the line of scrimmage. It's Rafferty coming right at you, 64. Now Springs cuts back. Getting nasty now.
It'll be 2nd and goal between the 1 and the 2 for Dallas. Setbacks are the same. Newhouse and Springs. It's Springs. Dallas touchdown.
What a drive for number 20. And it took the Cowboys 8 minutes. You're right on the line of scrimmage. Hello there.
Ron Springs, a rookie from Ohio State, who first attended Coffeyville Junior College in Coffeyville, Kansas. Went on to become a Buckeye as Raphael Septien will kick with Danny White holding. It's 17-6 at the moment. And I'll make it 17-7. 4:41 left to play in the first half when Septien will kick off. And Dallas has moved to within 10. The Redskins still lead 17-7.
Keeping our country beautiful and saving energy. 2 good reasons why Alcoa supports aluminum can collections. Recycling saves 95% of the energy needed to make new metal from bauxite. Today, 1 out of 4 aluminum cans is recycled and used again. Tomorrow, maybe 1 out of 3. Someday, maybe every one of them.
We can't wait for tomorrow. Alcoa can't wait.
We're not just a couple of animals who can only play football. We can be civilized, too.
Tennis is sophisticated, but you still got to be fast on your feet. So we still drink light beer from Miller. It's got 1/3 less calories than the regular beer, and it's less filling.
And it really tastes great.
Now that we played singles, we're looking for a nice, friendly game of doubles.
Tennis, anyone?
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less. I'm Rocky Blyer of the Pittsburgh Steelers. The problem of energy conservation is when you can't lateral, the way some of us try and lateral the football. We all have to pitch in, and right now. Energy. We can't afford to waste it.
The preceding message was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League and by CBS. Dallas drive took 8 minutes and 26 seconds. They went 70 yards in 13 plays. Bobby Hammond back deep for the Redskins. Sepien lines it deep. Good. Hammond goes all the way back to the 1. Redskins, of course, excel on special teams. Somebody really took a hit on the other side of the field, and Hammond goes out of bounds inside the 30. The Chicago Bears, who have to run it up to have any chance, now lead St. Louis 42-6. So their point difference is now 36.
Walter Payton is over 110 yards and keeping the Bears very much in it, huh?
O.J. Anderson hurt his leg and left the contest early. But the Bears, after struggling to beat Green Bay last week, are laying it on the Cardinals. First down, Redskins at their own 30. Ricky Thompson in motion. Theismann gives to Riggins. Riggins breaking away from people and carrying Cliff Harris for about 8 yards.
Looked like Cliff Harris was looking for linebacker help to tackle this big running back. And Brunig and Hegman, neither one gave it to him. Let's watch it. 44 hits the hole. There's not much there. Hegman's on the outside. And Brunig is caught on the inside. And Harris better do this one, or 44 goes down the sidelines.
Danny Bugs comes out. Riggins just shy of a first down on that carry. So it'll be second and about a half a yard. Look out for Theismann on this one. Got 2 wide receivers, good widers left. He's going to get the first down if he can. Malone hit by John Dutton first. But he got the first.
It's a very careful time in a way for Theismann, too. One way that Dallas can jump back in it quickly is to have the Redskins make a mistake on offense.
Big broad back of Dyron Talbert, who came with George Allen to the Redskins from the Rams and has outstayed George.
Was that the big 7-player swap with the Rams that time?
He was part of it.
McKeever and Pardee.
Right. That's Pardee. Here's Riggins.
Ooh.
And he hits in there solidly, doesn't he? Bob Brunig stopped him, but Riggins for about 4. Seattle and Oakland tied at 17 all. Cleveland lost today, so they're out of the playoff picture, but Oakland is still alive, depending upon what happens tomorrow night between San Diego and Denver.
How would you like to have carried the ball like Riggins has this year, 240 or 50 times, and only fumbled twice that he lost the football?
I'd like it.
He's a good one, number 44.
8 times 36 yards. Riggins. Second down at 7 now. 2:40 left to play in the first half as Malone cuts back inside right into the arms of Mike Hegman. Eddie Malone scored one of the Redskin touchdowns on a pass, 55-yard completion from Theismann. Theismann got the other one on a rollout. And Mosley kicked the field goal and 2 extra points. That accounts for it. Ron Springs scored for Dallas. Sepien with the extra point. 17-7 to score. Pat Summerall and Tom Brookshire will be talking with Ed Too Tall Jones during the half.
It's a pivotal 3rd down situation for Washington, of course, and Dallas. Dallas is probably thinking field goal with 2-minute warning coming in right now. Get the ball, stop him, and then try to tack 3 on.
So 2 minutes left to play in what has been a solid first half. But the Redskins leading 17-7.
Introducing the 1980 Ford Fairmont, the right idea for today.
Aren't you glad you bought a Fairmont?
Sure am.
The right idea for today.
Yes, sir.
Aren't you glad you bought a Fairmont?
And how? Fairmont's the right idea for today, with even better 4-cylinder mileage than last year.
Bought a Fairmont.
In 6s with 4-speed transmission, no car beats Fairmont's estimated MPG.
Aren't you glad you bought a Fairmont?
Glad.
The right idea for today.
From From the legend that is Nikon comes the new Nikon EM. And from the Nikon EM comes...
Hey, girl.
Molly. This sharp, this clear, every time. And especially this time. Because the Nikon EM is fully automatic.
Get more pictures.
It even signals if there's not enough light.
Is there enough light?
Sure, no problem.
So you get perfect pictures. And the Nikon EM is so easy to afford. The new Nikon EM, it's not just a camera, it's a Nikon.
Next Saturday, the CBS Sports Spectacular features super skates with former Olympians and world champions performing, plus action in the pool. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
Left in the first half. 17-7, Washington over Dallas.
Redskins have made 3 out of 5 third down conversions.
It's 3rd and 4. Dallas thinks they're going to throw. They've got their pass defensive unit in there. They're right, if that's what they think. Theismann throws over the head of Clarence Harmon, who was open. He was hit by Hegman just as he let it go.
Hegman dogged from the offside and forced the bad throw. Theismann's been very careful, though. Just don't make a big turnover. Bragg will try to kick the ball deep and see if they can hold and keep that field goal team off the field for Dallas.
Steve Wilson standing back at his own 10-yard line. That's Mike Bragg, number 4.
You want to see the Wild Bunch cover a punt. Watch this one.
The kick is a good one this time from Bragg, and Wilson signals for the fair catch. And they were looking right in his eyes. Monty Coleman after a 37-yard kick by Bragg, number 51 right there with him. Don Harris also down.
Wild Bunch.
They all wear towels around their waists, indicating they are wild.
Good. Now we can go to bed.
Wait a minute. I want to give you your gift while we're alone. It's something just for you.
A washer and dryer.
Now, come on, will you be serious?
Okay.
Close your eyes. Merry Christmas.
Give her a diamond. It's forever.
Take care of your car at Kmart. Our automotive service centers care.
Your Kmart Automotive Center can be your center for Christmas gifts. Anyone on your list would be pleased with this top-quality 21-piece socket wrench set. 1/4 and 3/8 drive, backed by a full unconditional duration warranty. A great gift for $11.88 at Kmart Automotive Centers across the U.S., where quality car products are Kmart priced.
A minute 48 left to play in the first half.
Ron Springs has 52 yards rushing on 14 carries. Hey, score here.
9-7. The Eagles over Houston down in the Astrodome. This one is for the NFC Eastern Crown. Preston Pearson is in the game, and Staubach will operate from the shotgun. Redskins looking for another turnover. Staubach throws. Springs had it and dropped it. Wysocki was the nearest Redskin to him.
Well, that's when you want to get down on the deck and kick and hit with your hands like a small child, because that is an easy catch. And Ron Springs will go back to the huddle and say, sorry, number 12, load it up and give me a chance to get back for you. Good throw.
Number 12 is interested in what play Tom Landry wants called, and he got his message just a second ago as Drew Pearson checked in and delivered it. They'll go for the shotgun again. Springs on the right flank. Dupree lines up to the left, and here comes Preston Pearson out to the left as well. Preston stays in to block this time. Staubach under pressure has Tony Hill. Tony Hill around to the outside, going for out of bounds, and gets there. Stops the clock.
Again, when he runs a 6 is when he comes across the middle. Thrill Hill might be as dangerous as there is. Good throw by Roger Staubach.
21 yards on that pickup for Hill.
Roger has to move to his left and up and makes it right on the money. Pearson comes over and screens Lavender. And Tony Hill does get out of bounds.
Monty Coleman made sure that he stayed out. A minute 35 left to play in the first half. The Cowboys have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Washington has 2. At the 36 now. Again, shotgun shown. Looking for a place to go. Cannot find it. It is Monty Coleman who ran him down. I mean, he gained some ground quickly.
Rookie from Central Arkansas, who didn't play any football till about his senior year and went off to college and became a pretty good-looking linebacker prospect. Watch how fast he is. Here's Roger, pinned in the pocket. He looks like he's laboring compared to 51. Ate him up in a hurry.
Need to move. Springs looking for some place to go, fighting. Stay on his feet. After all that battle, he picked up about 3 before again. Number 51, Monty Coleman, with help from Tony Peters, made the tackle.
I asked Roger Staubach after 11 years if he sort of thought he knew what Dan Reeves was going to call by way of Tom Landry on the plays and if he agreed with all the plays. And Roger said, oh, no, not at all. So they still have a number of plays that will work. And I guess they get sort of a quorum here and decide if it's 1, 2, or 3. But Roger doesn't always agree with the calls.
But he usually calls them.
He executes pretty well, too.
He sure does. Never had a better year, I guess. Mike Ditka and Jim Myers and Tom Landry, of course, in that meeting over there with Danny White. Just joined that bunch.
Remember, there used to be the big debate. He was a rookie in '69, and then about midway through, what, '71, Roger was given his first start, and he's never been gotten out of there since.
He alternated, of course, at a time on every play with Craig Morton. And then Landry decided he was the man that he would go with.
The top-rated passer now of all time.
And number 1 in the NFL this year, followed by Dan Fouts of San Diego, and then Joe Theismann of Washington. 3rd and 7. A minute 10 left to play in the first half. Tony Hill gets out of bounds. Stops the clock. Lamar Parrish on the tackle. Good effort by Tony Hill.
Again, it shows how much Hill has worked to improve his strength. Let's see if he curls in or comes to the outside. Now watch the strength here. The battle is to keep him from getting out, and Parrish can't do it. Hill has really worked on his strength, though, to build up the upper body strength. His legs are still swift and strong, huh?
Dallas first down at midfield. A minute and 3 left to play in the first half. Redskins 17, Washington 7. Staubach again back in the shotgun, and now they readjust the offensive alignment. Redskins faking blitz, don't come. Here comes Coleman. Hill again. Another Dallas first down at the 36-yard line. Tony might have hurt himself, and he is asking for help. 13 yards, and that puts Tony Hill over 1,000 yards for the year.
He and Drew Pearson have over 50 catches and over 1,000 yards apiece, and that's the first, right?
That's the first in the NFC. It was done in the AFC a number of times. Here's Drew Pearson at the 15. Hit down by Mark Murphy. And Pearson is now slow getting up and limping off. 20 yards on that pass completion. Drew Pearson shaken up a little bit, and Dallas takes a timeout. They now have 1 left.
Looked like the Redskins that time were a little disorganized as they ran a hurry-up play, and the secondary just dropped out of camera view. Looks like Drew has hurt that knee a little bit, the one that he injured a couple of weeks ago, spiking.
That's exactly what it looks like. Talking about the 2 wide receivers going over 1,000 yards, did you mention that they have become the first team with 3,000-yard gainers?
Tony Dorsett in the backfield rushing.
And the 2 wide receivers, as I mentioned, have been done before the AFC, involving Don Maynard, names like Art Powell, Bill Groman, Lance Allworth.
Lionel Taylor.
Yeah, some great names. It'll be first down Dallas at about the Redskins 16 as Jay Saldi, it appears now, will be one of the wide receivers. And Butch Johnson will be the other.
Obviously, the Cowboys aren't really thinking 3 until they can't get 7.
Tony Hill is back, and he will be one of the wide receivers. Steve Wilson goes out wide to the right. Butch Johnson, I believe, is also in the game. He has split wide to the left, and Hill now comes and joins him on the left side. Jay Salvi is flanked on the right side. Staubach has Pearson behind him. Here comes the all-out blitz, and here's the throw to Salvi. Just barely knocked away by Tony Peters, but a penalty marker down.
A great play by number 23. Young man from Oklahoma in his 5th year in the place of Kenny Houston. Watch this move on the ball. You think you don't have nerve to make this play in the end zone? The sunlight might have been in Salty's eyes, too.
That bright sun has just joined us. 24 seconds. Clock is stopped. The walk-off is against Dallas. They have 1 timeout left. Washington has 2. Here's the call for Bob Frederick.
Offensive holding, number 64. Still first down.
Rafferty.
It is still first down. The Cowboys have that 1 precious timeout left. Again, the shotgun formation with Landry looking on. Drew Pearson is back in the game now. It appeared he was shaken up and Hill was shaken up earlier, but they have both reappeared. Here comes the blitz again. Here's the throw again to Tony Hill and overthrown. 20 seconds now left on the clock. Lamar Parrish. There's Tony Dorsett. Suffered that bruised shoulder. There was at first thought to be a separation against Philadelphia last week, but he has not seen any action.
The 2-minute drill, as Joe Walton told me, is just short patterns and trick plays. Of course, if they don't get the clock stopped on the next completion, they'll probably have to use a timeout and try to get a field goal up. Landry looked a little worried, more worried today than normally, you think?
I don't think so. He really doesn't change
standing, huh?
Yeah. Tony Hill and Butch Johnson are the wide receivers. Pearson is out. Drew, but Preston's in. It blitz again. This time Dallas picks it up. Intended down the right side for Ron Springs. 15 seconds left to play.
Young Ray Waddy made a real good play on pass defense. Got inside of Springs and just wouldn't let him get near the ball. Good coverage by the young man. Look at this. In fact, Springs may have pushed off a little bit, but he got away with it.
I think they have time for 1 more play and then call a timeout as Butch Johnson comes in and tells him what Landry desires. 7 out of 9 on 3rd down conversions for Dallas. 15 seconds left to play first half. 17-7 Washington. Tony Hill and Drew Pearson both in the game. Hill is to the right, Pearson to the left, joined by Dupree. This time the Redskins do not pitch. Staubach throws for Pearson. He got it. A diving catch by Preston Pearson.
Pearson's knocked himself out on the ball, and it's his first touchdown catch of the year. Injuries. A lot of this season, that was a great catch, and the ball was laid right in there.
Mark Murphy was the Redskin tackler, or the Redskin defender, but the diving catch.
Right down the middle. Here's Rogers' throw. Making sure. Came right down on his rib cage with 9 seconds left on the clock.
It is up close. And okay.
New game.
Or I'll say 17-13 now with 9 seconds left to play in the first half. Dallas used their last timeout on that injury. Pearson, Septien with Danny White holding, trying to make it a 3-point Redskin margin. good. 17-14.
Have you noticed how little the officials have to do in a game like this?
It was 17-0. Redskins. But the Cowboys have gotten 2 touchdowns and made this an entirely different football game for the second half. 9 seconds left to go, however, on the first half, and you can't let up now if you're Dallas. There's Preston Pearson over on the sideline. I think he just had the wind knocked out of it, don't you?
Yeah, he made sure of the catch. He gave himself up to make sure. Pulled his feet up. He didn't have to jump for it. The ball was right on.
Bowl games on CBS. The first one next Saturday in El Paso, the Sun Bowl.
We should go right there from here, but everything in due course, right?
I suppose. Christmas Day, the Blue-Gray Football Classic, and the Peach Bowl, December the 31st, Clemson, Baylor, Houston, Nebraska here in Dallas, and the Cotton Bowl New Year's Day. Septien will kick off. He might kick a bouncer. He does. They lose the handle, but Bobby Hammond picks it up. Hammond, looking for some place to go, is taken down by Aaron Mitchell. First man to get there is number 34. 1 second to go, and the Redskins will just run it out. Penalty marker, however, is down. And Bob Frederick will discuss the situation with one of his mates. Situation is clipping, which you so often see on kickoffs now.
Hardy's big problem will be to regroup. Not put anything X's and O's in the way of new stuff, but just get everybody back and start moving the football on offense when they get a chance in the second half.
There will be a special report, by the way, at the half from CBS News on the Iranian situation.
Personal foul. 51 number 66 on the kickoff return. Touchdown.
That report, as well as scores from around the league with Brent, Irv, and Jane, and a chat with Too Tall Jones, who is here in the booth with us.
He's bigger than the booth.
Redskins will be happy just to run it out. He's not as big as he used to be, however. That's the end of the first half at Texas Stadium, with Washington 17, the Dallas Cowboys 14, and the contest, I think, Thomas, it's everything we expected.
It's just getting started, too.
A full half to go yet, so be back with us.
Get ready for the first new truck of the 80s, the new Ford pickup. 1980 Ford test trucks got over 1 million total miles of testing here at Ford's Arizona Proving Grounds, over torture tests like steel-lined potholes and power hop hill. This 1980 Ford pickup has new aerodynamic design, the best gas mileage rating of any American-built standard pickup. Carries a big payload, too. See the first new truck of the 80s. It's built Ford Tough.
You know, for too long now, bowlers have been left out of light beer commercials, and football players have been grabbing all the glory. But bowlers know light beer from Miller tastes great. We know light's got 1/3 less calories than the regular beer.
Follow you with highlights on the Sports Spectacular. This next Saturday, your highlights of your 4th fight will be on, and you're only down this pike one time, and I wish you luck in this strange new world you're getting into.
Thank you very much.
All right, Ed. And of course, the Cowboys had the momentum and scored the last 2 touchdowns, and we'll be back with the second half of this big game that Washington must win if they're going to get into the playoffs. The Cowboys will have something to say about that. Hang tight.
Redskins, and Raphael Septien will kick off for Dallas. There's Hammond, number 34. Septien, of course, is number 1. By the way, in that Chicago-St. Louis game, again, which was won by the Bears 42-6, O.J. Anderson finished the season with 1,605 yards. Walter Payton edged him by 5. He finished the season with 1,610 yards. Of course, Earl Campbell is still going for the NFL rushing crown. Septien Hammond back to the end zone, and he comes out. And he comes out before he is knocked out of bounds, and a penalty marker goes down back inside the 20. That was Larry Brinson that chased him out of bounds, number 36 for Dallas.
They're going to call Harmon for probably clipping on Cosby on the run back. But it did show that the Redskins had thought, come on, let's pick it up. We're going to get the ball. Let's use it. Long drive, get 7 points, and sort of force Dallas's hand.
We were talking while we had a minute ago about the winningest team of this decade, the 70s. Here's the run back again. Realize that no team has beaten Dallas twice in the same year.
Illegal block below the waist on the kick return.
No team has beaten Dallas twice in the same year since 1970. The Redskins beat them 34-20 up at RFK Stadium.
That's quality control, isn't it? That's consistency, the name of the game.
And so the Redskins operate on their own 9-yard line. Joe Theismann gives to Riggins, and Riggins breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet out about the 18-yard line. About an 8-yard pickup by John Riggins. Harvey Martin came from the opposite side of the defensive line to make the tackle.
That's what the Skins must do. They run right at John Dutton and away from Harvey Martin on the far side. Hermline tries to cut him off. Watch the pursuit of number 79. Of course, he and Randy White on that side were MVPs of the Super Bowl win over the Denver Broncos a couple of years ago.
Second and a very, very short amount of yardage required for a first out. And this time it'll be Theismann to keep it and make it himself.
Hagman was the linebacker on this side, and the fake was so good by the former Notre Dame All-American that everybody went inside, and Theismann almost turned that into a long gainer.
There's Drew Pearson smiling over in front of the Dallas bench. Would remind you, however, that the Redskins still lead 17-14 with almost a full half to play. Seattle in an effort to knock Oakland out of the playoff picture. They lead 24-17. On the right, and Theismann's going for a punch. He won't get it. Harvey Martin is the first man there, and the sack. Dutton joined him.
That's the third sack of Theismann. 42 for the year for the Dallas Cowboys. He'll come whistling in from the left side. Harvey Martin. Looked to me like Dallas is uncoiled finally. The Redskins got their attention with those 17 points. Here it is now from behind the defense. Dutton was there too.
An 8-yard loss. So it'll be second and 18 now. Theismann, the ball knocked away. The defensive play on Riggins, the intended receiver by Mike Hegman.
And a good play by Hegman because the man in motion pulled him all the way over the formation. Watch him now to the right side. Picked up the man coming out of the backfield and played the ball very well. Good play by Hegman.
Roger Staubach still with his warm-up jacket on. Over behind the Dallas bench, loosening it up. Mike Bragg should be loosening up, and is for the Redskins on third down and 18, 17-7. The New Orleans Saints over Los Angeles. Theismann still with it. Theismann cut down by Cliff Harris.
The free safety man waited for him to come out. Looks to me like the Redskins are taking back a little bit now.
Running with 13 minutes, 10 seconds left to play in the third quarter, and Washington leading the Dallas Cowboys 17-14. A good high kick and a fair catch signal for by Wade Manning, and a fumble. Looked like it might have hit a Redskin player on the fly before it went out of bounds.
Dallas Dallas ball. It'll be called a muff.
Last man. In that case, who makes contact is who is awarded the ball. Just to clarify a little something. Washington, one year, the Cowboys and the Redskins played 3 times. Washington beat them in the championship game at RFK Stadium. They beat them one other time in the regular season, but nobody has beaten them twice in the regular season since 1970. Hope that satisfies. Here's Newhouse, perhaps into Redskin territory, but just barely. Pete Wysocki on the tackle.
Good field position as the fullback broke one tackle and then got straightened up. Redskins may have to get their vim and vigor right now from their defense until they can either get a turnover and put Theismann's crew back in charge a little bit. Dallas right now looks like they're sort of feeling hot and good.
We saw the Seattle-Oakland score, 26-17 now Seattle. Ron Springs and Newhouse, the setbacks. Springs on the draw play, looking for room and finding some. Springs carrying a couple of tacklers. And perhaps a Dallas first down. Monty Coleman led the Redskin tacklers, along with Dyron Talbert.
The young back steps up, lets the hole go by. Watch it open up far to the left where he expected it, as Rafferty stayed with his block. Finally got it. For a young man, this fellow runs like Hugh McElhenney did, looking and always thinking. Here's the blocking on Dyron. Watch Dyron try to spin. So Rafferty goes ahead and takes him. Stays right with him. That's Scott, excuse me.
First down, Dallas at the 41. Drew Pearson comes in motion to the right, and Springs will carry. This time, not much can develop, and he's thrown back by Coy Bacon and group.
Dan Reeves is upstairs calling down plays to the coach, who will then send in a player to notify his quarterback.
That player is Doug Cosby.
What's complicated, isn't it?
It really is. Billy Joe Dupree goes out. Tony Hill goes out wide to the right. Tight end Cosby tight on the left side. Drew Pearson split wide out of your picture. Now should come back in. Spins around back in the other direction. Lavender still with it. Knocked him out of bounds, but the pass complete from Staubach to Tony Hill.
And you know, the reverse man in motion may have opened this up. Tony Hill's going to be hurt a little bit again. Something's tender. That time, Drew Pearson looked like he was going to go to the far side and came back. Drew Pearson's to the left, which means that this is going to the weak side of the formation. The young linebacker, Coleman, is caught up just a little bit short.
Hill limping over behind the Dallas bench. Pearson is out. Now Salvi is in. Butch Johnson lined up to the left side as a flanker. Salvi, the other wide receiver. At the 28, it's a reverse to Butch Johnson. Butch still on his feet. Johnson to the 15.
Week, Butch Johnson caught the double bubble for the big touchdown in beating Philadelphia. This time he makes a heck of a run. Here's the reverse. Back to Springs, inside, outside handoff, and watch Butch go inside. Here he's hit, gets away from Lorch, continues on for the first down. Dallas has a lot of people that make big plays.
Tony Peters finally made the tackle for the Redskins. First down, Dallas at the Washington 15. Now less than 10 minutes left to play in the third. Staubach fakes, throws for Tony Hill. Overthrows Tony Hill. Lamar Parrish was fooled momentarily, but got back quickly.
Tony Hill looks like he is not running free and easily right now. He looked like he was sort of pulling a leg that time behind him.
Hill has 5 catches for 66 yards. He went over 1,000 for the season in the first half.
Little throw down here. You gotta block Coy Bacon. Donovan's got that job.
It's 2nd and 10 at the 15. Springs a Newhouse to back. run Springs. He cuts back inside to about the 10. A pickup of 5. Dyron Talbert made the tackle or led the Redskin group that brought him down.
Good call. Good offensive play. Took Coy Bacon outside, and Scott took the defensive tackle inside. You're right behind the formation. Watch Scott straight ahead. 68. That's Dyron Talbot to spin out. Cosby is blocked on Coy Bacon, and Donovan went through on the linebacker.
So it'll be 3rd and 6. Preston Pearson caught a touchdown pass in the first half. It is in the offensive setup for Dallas. Lined up on the right side. Staubach looking for him and got it. Pearson to the 2. Mark Murphy on the coverage. Staubach looked nowhere else.
Brad Pearson comes on the blitz on the outside. Pearson just checks out. The great thing about the play was that Roger relaxed even more when the pressure put on him by the linebacker. Watch this. He really relaxed and just sort of said, okay, make it easy.
1st and goal from the 2. Cowboys have Springs and Newhouse.
First lead for Dallas, and a heck of a drive. Here's the touchdown. This is not an easy team to score on inside. Boy, Fitzgerald gets a super block. There's a big hole for a goal line defense.
Great block by Herbert Scott, too. There's Newhouse. Septien with a very, very big extra point with Danny White holding. And a little pushing and shoving going on between Danny White and Coy Bacon right now. Or Randy White, I should say, not Danny. That's a little bit better match.
Straight ahead football. Dallas has become more basic. Cut some of the frills off. Looks like it's working.
Don't blink. It's Boulevard watch time. We offer time to you in more beautiful ways than anyone else in the world. In fact, when this commercial is over, there will still be over 500 different Boulevard watches that you haven't seen. That's, oops, you blinked. Boulevard watch time.
In business, the more efficiently you use your time, the more money you make.
Time is money.
So if you're spending hours dictating letters to far-off places, and hours are spent typing them,
I've got other work to do.
kick the letter habit. Pick up your phone and give them a ring. The phone turns your time into money.
Raphael Septien talking to Dennis Thurman, who has done a good job filling in at strong safety.
Also credit Harvey Martin for a big sack when the Redskins had the ball that last series and forced the offense to stop.
8:16 left to play in the third quarter with Dallas in front for the first time. 21-17, Washington had led. 17-0. Septien with another line drive kickoff to Bobby Hammond back at the 3. And he is swarmed under. Wade Manning, Aaron Mitchell. Touchdown again by Newhouse.
Third touchdown of the year rushing for Robert Newhouse.
Thursday night on CBS, the Waltons, followed by Barnaby Jones. Waltons have a strange visitor, not Santa Claus.
How strange?
Dallas. Special episode. It was a brand new series, too. Wedding plans is met after about a yard pickup by the entire middle of the Dallas defense.
Remember, this defense sort of refused to give early. They played it tough after the first 2 turnovers, but the scores went.
There's Newhouse, who looked like he was in severe pain last week in Philadelphia when he hurt his leg, a leg that he's been troubled with quite a bit.
He's recovered now, huh?
2nd and 8.
There's Harvey Martin. He had 23 sacks one year, 16 last season, and he's got 8 now.
Clarence Harmon and John Riggins, the 2 running backs, and it's Harmon. He's got some room. Harmon did not quite get the first down, but he got good yardage. D.D. Lewis and Cliff Harris, the 2 tacklers. Malone comes back now, and Harmon will come out in all likelihood.
Watch your safety man, Cliff Harris, really make a good tackle. Here's Bruning, 53, trying to get over. Dennis Dermott can't handle the running back. And D.D. Lewis and Harris finally do it double team style.
3rd, it looks like about a yard is all. I don't know if Thomas campaigned or not yet. He wouldn't have to in Texas Stadium. They need a little less than 2 yards. John Riggins and Benny Malone. And it will be Malone. And he's got it. And more. Cliff Harris again on the tackle, but a Redskin first down.
Good block by Riggins on the outside, and Malone really wanted that first down. And this is what Washington has to do, is really attack. Blocked to the top by Riggins. Now watch Malone. Carries Harris right on for the first down. Good effort.
First down, Redskins at their own 37. It is cold in Dallas. Philadelphia beating Houston 19-10 in the 3rd quarter. Playoff game in Philadelphia next week. Here's Theismann. And there's Larry Cole.
That's the 4th sack of Joe Theismann. And Larry Cole, number 63, who doesn't like publicity, does like to play defensive left tackle and not defensive left end. What a move, huh? That's ducking to the left. Cole is top center and steaming in. Great effort.
So it'll be 2nd down, and the Redskins now need 20 for a first down. Harmon and Riggins, the 2 setbacks behind Theismann. Clock running at 5:20 left to play 3rd quarter. Inside Rudolph and Harvey Martin wrestles Riggins to the ground.
Let's see if Harvey takes the inside rush. Watch the left of your screen and see where 79 comes from. It's a misdirection that never gets started. Martin took the inside and Randy White took the outside. Here now you can see it. The misdirection doesn't fool Harvey Martin at all.
3rd and 23. Here in Dallas, they still remember that field goal that Mark Mosley kicked up at RFK Stadium. Here is Benny Malone, and stopped after very, very few yards, led by Mike Heckman, Aaron Mitchell.
There's the captain of the defense, Harvey Martin. And this stadium is turned on.
Mike Bragg is number 4, standing inside the 15 and about to kick for Washington. And a fine kick. Chases Steve Wilson back to the 25, 26. Wilson tried to get outside, couldn't quite make it, got to about the 29. Pete Wysocki on the tackle.
Best punt coverage team in the NFL, the Redskins.
Now the pressure moves to defense for Washington. Dallas ball. They'll take over at their own 30. Jack Pardee at Texas Stadium. Let's run down some of the other scores around the league today. New England 27-23 over Minnesota, the last game in Jim Marshall's illustrious career. 31-21 Atlanta over San Francisco. The end for O.J. Simpson. What a career that's been. Baltimore 31, the Giants 7. That's a Moore in a minute as Pearson goes in motion and shut out Buffalo 28-0. The Steelers then the champions of the AFC Central Division. Cincinnati knocks Cleveland out of the playoff situation, 16-12 a final score.
Some rivalry in Ohio anyway, right?
And Tampa Bay finally made it in the rain and mud at Tampa Stadium, 3-0. A field goal by Neil O'Donoghue, and they are the NFC Central Division champions. And the Chicago Bears over St. Louis, 42-6, putting some heat on the Redskins if the game itself wasn't already enough. Springs stays on his feet and lunges ahead for 2 or 3. Pete Wysocki tripped him up.
I think Dallas has come from the other side of the great beyond. They fumbled, punt. The next 2 times they had the ball, then it's touchdown. Defense helped, but I'll tell you, the offensive line of scrimmage now is owned by Dallas.
2:55 left to play. Dorsett over on the sideline. He has seen no action today, but he's been up and cheering. 3rd and 3 for Dallas, and they shift into the shotgun as Springs goes behind, or Preston Pearson goes behind Staubach. And stays in there to block. Roger is sacked by Perry Brooks, and that's the 2nd time he's been down. Danny White, and that might just be a lift for the Redskins. Sacks often do that.
Coy Bacon got in on that too. That's the 2nd time Roger has been sacked. I don't see a flag, but I do see people arguing.
Right down the 50-yard line. Tom, is a flag. Dropped way downfield, so we'll see. Against Washington.
Going to call Lamar Parrish for holding some outside receiver away from the action, which, of course, was the sack.
Bob Frederick, the referee.
Defensive holding, number 24. First down.
Dallas first down at their own 43. New Orleans 20. Los Angeles 7. Rams, of course, already in the playoffs. They'll visit somebody. For 1 or 2 after he's hit about a yard behind the line of scrimmage by Brad Dusick.
The Aggie really made a tackle. That was a solid. You could hear it clear up in the upper deck here at Texas Stadium. Springs had to feel that. Solid hit.
That's now in the 4th quarter in Houston. Philadelphia 19-10 over the Houston Oilers.
Springs has 73 yards rushing.
About a half yard on that carry. 2nd and 9, we'll call it. As Staubach throws for Springs just off the end of his fingertips. Monty Coleman on the coverage. Seattle and Oakland still the same, 26-17. Seattle, a team to be reckoned with before too much longer. They already are. They're out of the playoff picture. Oakland wasn't, but they might be.
Jay Salty came in. We'll have a little shotgun action. Drew Pearson staying in. Tony Hill.
Salty and Butch Johnson come out wide to the left. Tony Hill out wide to the right. All back from the shotgun, and they blitz him. Throw is intended for Pearson, but Roger off the mark just a little bit as Mark Murphy was the Redskin defender.
And big pressure by the Washington down 4 on 2 or 3 different plays. Looks like they may have tried to get back the line of scrimmage and did.
Annie White has punted twice. Average 44.5 yards. 21-17 Dallas over Washington. 1:43 left to play in the contest for the NFC's Eastern Division Championship. A week off. Annie White. Bobby Hammond is back there. He goes out of bounds at about the 12-yard line. A home field advantage, of course, at stake. 44-yard kick that time by Danny White. 1:36 left to play, 3rd quarter in Texas Stadium, where the Cowboys lead by 4. just strength, gets about 4 yards.
With the whole fourth period left to play, it seemed to me like the Redskins defensive line reasserted itself in that last defensive series, but now it's up to Theismann. The offense really hasn't done anything since early in that second quarter. And there are a lot of eyeballs from the Redskin bench saying, let's get it going. Heat it up.
Give Riggins 5 on that carry, so it'll be 2nd and 5. The line of scrimmage, the Redskin 18. John McDaniel, Ricky Thompson, the wide receiver. Here's Riggins again. This time he's got the first down. Riggins with good speed to be so big.
Say he had a 9.600 as a prepster back in Kansas before he went to become a Jayhawker. Had a little trouble adjusting to Washington the first year, and now just feels right at home there in the Potomac. Funny how success will do that, right?
That helps out a lot of things, doesn't it?
A big fullback who can get outside. You can see Harvey Martin and Dede Lewis chasing. And Brunig finally in on the tackle with Cliff Harris.
First down, Washington at the 25. 8-yard pickup by Riggins. John McDaniel in motion, and Theismann throws to him and got him. Aaron Kyle on the tackle. But the Redskins seem to have settled themselves down a little bit now. And this one is far, far from being over.
How many of these Washington-Dallas games have we seen to where a Longley would come in and throw a long pass, or a Mosley's teeing up a long field goal possibility to win or tie a game?
Who could ever forget the Redskins' victory up there last year, 9-5. Jack Pardee's first victory as head coach over Dallas. Of course, he was in many himself as a linebacker for the Redskins. Here's Riggins. And Riggins bangs out to outside the 40 to about the 44. Again, Cliff Harris is forced to make the tackle.
Dallas defense read it so well that they overran the play, and Riggins just staggered off behind it.
Redskins shuffling their wide receivers back and forth. McDaniel and Bugs. Look at this run by Riggins. And the balance.
Watch White fight the action. Larry Cole overruns it, does a Veronica, and doesn't make the tackle either.
Riggins, 14 carries, 66 yards. On the move. And so is the clock. Now with 8 seconds left to go in the third quarter. And Riggins again on a misdirection. Almost broke another one. Randy White tripped him up, however.
Running straight at Harvey Martin, Randy White, which will also take the heat off Theismann perhaps when he passes. Just another football ambulance doing his job.
Doesn't know it's cold, I guess. 21-17.
Tonight, thrill to the 4th annual Circus of the Stars with guests Eric Estrada, Lonnie Anderson, Rip Taylor, and many more. Tonight at 9, 8 Central.
This is CBS.
Mr. Riley, your ads are terrific.
Yeah, but there's something wrong.
Could be me.
A Yellow Pages ad?
Look, your other advertising moves customers down the field, but when they're ready to buy, they look for me.
So?
So your other ads work harder when you got me to close the sale. Selling is teamwork.
And a good Yellow Pages ad can help me score.
Kid, you got the point. Let the Yellow Pages do your talking.
Clarice Tinsley and Barry Judge, the Channel 4 News team people are switching to at 10. Clarice and Barry are just 2 reasons why thousands of viewers in Dallas and Fort Worth have made up their minds that Channel 4 is the 10 o'clock news choice. Add a factual and understandable weatherman like Channel 4's Gary Basner and the double team of Bob McLean and Brad Sham on sports, and you've got the best 10 o'clock news team in the Metroplex. Join the switch to the 10 o'clock news on 4. It's a better newscast.
Channel 4, your Dallas Cowboy station.
Monday, a medical honor for BJ and Charles has them operating on each other, while Margaret's discovering her new femininity.
I'm gonna break your cheeks.
Then meet Dr. Charlie Michaels, who has a bedside manner that women can't resist. Wayne Rogers stars in the premiere of House Calls, following MASH, Monday at 9, 8 Central.
Summer all the town Brookshire at Texas Stadium, where the Redskins have marched up to their own 48-yard line, all done on the ground, mostly by Riggins. This time outside the wide receiver, John McDaniel, who's got some room, and McDaniel in Dallas territory for another Redskin first down. Dennis Thurman knocked him out of bounds.
George Stark, the big offensive right tackle from Columbia, really makes a good open field block. It's a quick screen to the right side. The fake to Riggins sort of got pressure off the inside of the formation. Watch 74 now. On Benny Barnes, driving straight back.
Dennis Thurman knocked him out of bounds. Thurman playing in place of the injured Granny Hughes. At the 42, another first down for the Redskins. Opening seconds of quarter number 4. Dallas leading 21-17. Under pressure, throwing deep, and going to overthrow his intended receiver, tight end Don Warren.
A lot of pressure that time on the quarterback, but to give Theismann the benefit of the doubt, he looked over 3 different receivers and then threw a hot ball because he was being rushed, but not badly handled. Look, he's looking left. Now he looks back right. Now he feels that pressure and says, all right, I'll go ahead and airmail special this baby where nobody can get it.
E.D. Lewis made a blitzing move and caused Theismann to step up in the pocket.
He's the only quarterback to start every game for Washington since Jurgensen did it in 1970. They've always been with different quarterbacks, haven't they?
What a year he's had, the best ever by far. He gives to Ike Forte, and Forte fumble. Washington got it back. Ricky Thompson came in and made the recovery. Redskins getting close to the range of Mark Mosley. Randy White on the pursuit over there.
This is the way the Skins played a lot this year. They, like I said, the average rush is 38 times, which is a lot. Not a high average, but they pick up first downs with 3rd and short. They're tough to stop when they get it rolling like this.
Riggins moves out, and the 2 running backs this time for the Redskins will be Clarence Harmon and Ike Forte. Dallas has had the ball, you can see, 26-10. Washington 18-50 so far. Here's Theismann. He'll have the first down, and does at the 30. Cliff Harris made the tackle.
How long's it been since you've seen the split T quarterback option? This was a mistake. If there's any quarterback around that you would want to do this, I guess Theismann's the fella. Quick on his feet, good athlete, and knew when to get down.
Joe Theismann, who spent some time in Canada, was drafted originally by Miami. Now 30 years old. Runner-up in the Heisman Trophy competition. 1970 to Jim Plunkett. Riggins and Malone now on the backfield. He fakes to Riggins. Got a blocker out in front. Has a receiver open. And he manages to keep feet in bounds and make it a complete pass. Ricky Thompson with the toe dance on the sideline.
We'll try to take a look and see if he gets away with it. It's a naked left side rollout. Here's Randy White putting heat on. This ball is really thrown. Did he get 2 feet down?
Yes, he did. That's a good effort.
That is some effort by Ricky Thompson. I can't believe he did this to these Texans. He's from Waco.
That was Terry Hermeling who came out in front of Theismann to offer some protection. And the Redskins come right back. 13-12 left to play in the football game. It's 21-17 Dallas. There's Malone. Inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line before he is taken down by Dennis Thurman.
Malone runs just like his older brother, doesn't it? He's going in all different directions.
That would be Art.
Art Malone.
Who is about as quick off the ball as I think anybody I've ever seen. Jack Pardee looking on. Another Texan. Played 6-man football in high school. Cristobal.
Well, there are 12 Texans on the Washington team and only 3 on the Dallas team. Is that true?
That's true. John McDaniel and Ricky Thompson. Both split wide to the left. Riggins breaking tackles, penalty markers down. It looked like somebody on the Redskins might have moved. Perhaps Benny Malone didn't get set.
It's against the Redskins, and Harvey Martin, El Capitan, is going to talk it over with Bob Frederick.
Redskins is that their regular offensive center, Bob Guzile, has a fractured hand and will probably not be back.
Illegal motion, number 25 on the offense.
And of course, Fritz is now in there at center, number 66.
Right. Riggins comes out now. It'll be second down. They need about 12 from the 18. Mike Forte and Clarence Harmon. Texas Stadium encouraging the Dallas defense. Theismann has been very effective. And this drive, he fakes, throws. He's got Harmon. He'll have a first down. It'll be 1st and goal, Redskins.
What a play by Guy Brown from behind. Our Harmon scores. Now, it may have been Guy Brown's coverage, but some play as a delay back comes out. And Harmon has been fantastic. Watch the pressure, even on a short pass. I'll put on Theismann. In a hurry, they're going to get there.
Harmon is saying now that he did not quite get the first down. He is about 6 inches short. At least that's the indication he made back to the bench. So it'll be 3rd down and about a foot.
Some play by the running back from Mississippi State, who just gets better every year when he comes to the Skins.
And bigger, it seems. He's in the game now with Riggins and Malone. Theismann is going for the punch, and he's got Harmon open. It'll be 4th down. Redskins brought a big contingent of fans. They're down, located in that end zone.
How close did it come to the hands? I couldn't tell whether Theismann took a little off or if he just missed the receiver. It looks like Harmon's going to break open.
He is open.
Got to go after that one.
And the Redskins now will settle. It would appear, at least, for a field goal by Mark Mosley. Theismann holding, don't forget that. Mosley rips it good. It's 21-20. Wow.
And 11 minutes, 24 seconds left.
And don't forget what tremendous range Mark Mosley has. He was hitting from outside 55 yards during the warm-up before the game. 21-20.
Because the wine remembers, the corksmith judges the quality of the cork, choosing only the finest Portuguese cork to become the guardian of the wine. Here at the winery of Ernest and Julio Gallo, for our crisp Chenin Blanc, it is the care of the corksmith that protects the skillful art of the winemaker. Every step we take with care, because the wine remembers.
Well, the weather up here is tough on everything.
Oh, you kind of feel good that you have a diehard.
You need a good battery in the city of Anchorage.
In Anchorage, they buy more diehards than any other battery.
I think the diehard was probably designed with Anchorage in mind.
Yeah, we depend on the diehard.
Turns that motor over just fantastic.
Tom Landry studying his notes. You see Danny White, the backup quarterback for Dallas, warming up in the background. Raphael Septien to kick off. I beg your pardon, Mark Mosley to kick off. Run. Springs back deep for Dallas. That high Mosley kickoff puts Springs back at his goal line. And he is on his head at about the 14. Bowl games coming up on CBS. First will be the Sun Bowl, Washington against Texas, next Saturday at 1:30 Eastern Time.
Our 2 horses are waiting for us for the parade down there, I heard.
Mine can't still be there.
Let them go alone. If we're not there, just go without us, right?
Christmas Day, the Flu Gray Football Classic. Peach Bowl, Monday, December 31st, Clemson, Baylor. Cotton Bowl, Houston, Nebraska, New Year's Day. Rise and shine in El Paso.
And Juarez, too.
New Orleans, 27. The Los Angeles Rams, 7. Fourth quarter, Roger Staubach is still the quarterback.
Ron Springs has gained more yards rushing today than Dorsett ever gained against Washington. Rather startling stat.
Harmon seems like he might have been shaken up a little bit on that kickoff coverage. And now he looks like he's all right.
Dallas has got to chop away at that clock for about 5 or 6 minutes worth.
possession right here. 11:14 left on the game clock. The NFC's Eastern Division Championship riding on the outcome of it. Staubach looks to the outside, and down he goes. He's going to try to throw it out to the right side to Billy Joe Dupree. I believe Dave Butts got there before he could do anything with it.
And Lamar Parrish was right waiting for the ball. Watch Roger look up. Pose like he's a statue, right? Like he is the Heisman of the Maxwell, and then eat it because Parrish was just dying to get interception number 10.
They were trying to screen, but there was nobody out there.
Rayfield Wright.
He's not legal. And so it'll be second down, Cowboys. And 11, a yard loss by Staubach. The clock ticking away, 10:45 left in the fourth quarter. Ron Springs and Robert Newhouse to back. Staubach is going to throw again. Drew Pearson was the intended receiver. Joe Lavender on the coverage, and Pearson saw it bounce in front of him.
And this is typical Redskin defensive pressure. Love to get you with third and long.
Like Drew Pearson is limping on that bad leg again. Newhouse also going out, and the regular pass receiving core comes in for the Cowboys, the Redskins.
Harry Brooks is in there. Joe Jones, pass rushing group, is on the line of scrimmage.
They've got the squeeze on right now. Staubach in the shotgun. Protection holds up. Pass is picked off by Mark Murphy. Murphy slips down, gets back up. A pass that saw nobody from the Cowboys anywhere close to it. I believe it was intended for Jay Saldi, but Staubach ripped it in the hands of Murphy.
Interception number 3 for the 6'4" safety man from Colgate. But a big job of preparing the right defense for the right situation. Roger never looked to another receiver. You seldom see him just stare one receiver in the back like that.
He is talking to Saldi over on the sideline. It looked like he might have broken the pattern to the outside, and Staubach anticipated an inside move. In any case, the ball belongs to Washington.
When the only sound is the frozen silence of winter, you go to work, throwing mountains of snow back into the sky. And when the track becomes a railroad again, it's Miller time. Time to head for the best tasting beer you can find, Miller High Life.
If you've got the time, we've got the beer. Miller Beer. Miller Beer.
By trying harder to be faster, Avis came up with the Wizard of Avis.
Keep on trying, America. The effort is really everything. We keep on trying, America.
By trying harder, we introduce speed to the rent-a-car business.
At Avis, we don't give up. Trying.
Next Saturday, the CBS Sports Spectacular features Super Skates with former Olympians and world champions performing, plus action in the pool. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
Redskins have the ball. The Dallas 25. 10 minutes, 27 seconds left to play. Dallas leads by 1 point, 21-20.
Redskins are going to together rather than hang separately, right? They're staying together pretty tough.
That's what they've done all year. Thompson swings in motion to the left. Heisman fakes and throws deep for Thompson. Knocked away in the end zone, but a penalty marker is down. Cliff Harris was the defender.
It'll be first and goal as Harris, Captain Crash, got his left arm around Ricky Thompson's neck. I think the ball may have stayed up too long. Let's all look at it together. First down, Theismann really stays cool. It's Harvey Martin putting the heat on.
In the end zone, number 43. First down on the 1 yard line.
Ooh, that's close.
That is close. The right arm may have run around the throat, but the left arm or the hand made contact with the ball.
It's first and goal at the 1 for Washington. 24 yards. That pass interference cost Dallas. Redskins bounce right back. outstanding. Never did get him down.
And look at the Washington bench on the sidelines. They are going completely bonkers. Look at Pardee. You're right, Coach. Everybody maintained their cool.
Riggins touchdown.
A power run. Malone leading the way. Blast Dennis Thurman right out of the hole.
Clarence Harmon, a key block up in front of him. Jeff Williams, also a good block. Mosley adds the extra point, and the Redskins go back in front 27-21 over Dallas. 10:18 left to play. What a contest this is.
We're at the National Computer Conference. Over 400 computer companies are showing their products. And IBM is showing its lower-priced 4331 computer.
This is built for an office environment, doesn't need extra air conditioning.
Logic inside this machine is only about the size of a toaster oven.
This IBM computer incorporates important technological innovations. For example, logic circuits that used to take up this much space now take up this much.
We're giving you more capability at a lower cost.
This has got to be the only industry with the prices going down.
Compared to previous IBM computers of similar capacity, this computer uses 70% less energy and sells for less than half the price.
Yeah, that should cut out costs.
IBM never stops working to improve the computer. But then, IBM's competitors aren't standing still either. IBM, helping put information to work for people.
There's your story. 27-21. The Redskins over the Cowboys with 10 minutes and 18 seconds left to play. Wade Manning is the deep man for Dallas. Mark Mosley set to kick off for Washington. He had a high, long one last time.
And a 5-second hang time on the last one. Oh, this is bigger than that one.
Does again. Manning fumbles, bobbles, and then comes out. That might have been a mistake, but maybe not. To the 20. Monty Coleman on the tackle. Don't forget, following football, 60 minutes. Here's, we told you earlier, in case you joined us in progress, a giant American chemical company was told by one of its own executives that it was slowly contaminating water wells adjoining the plant. The story on 60 Minutes is, did the company do anything about it? First down, Dallas. Doug Cosby and Billy Joe Dupree, and the Dallas offensive setup at the moment. Both are tight ends, of course. Staubach gives to Ron Springs, and Springs is hit after about a yard. Olkowitz on the tackle. Seattle 29-17 over Oakland.
Another big tackle by that young linebacker. Roger has got to put together an extended drive, tack up a touchdown. 2 field goals would get you a tie, and of course if these two teams would tie after overtime and Philadelphia would beat Houston, then the Eagles would win the championship. Is that true?
That is correct. And the Eagles would also have next week off. Staubach looking and found Billy Joe Dupree, who is hurled back by Tony Peters. Not nearly enough for a first down.
Seldom thrown to Billy Joe Dupree, and some people around the league think that this man is about as dangerous a tight end in the middle where he catches this one as anybody in the game. But he hasn't been called much for the passes.
3rd and 2 situation for Dallas, and a crucial one at that, as the clock now shows less than 9 minutes left to play. Preston Pearson and Jay Salvey both in the game. Drew Pearson and Salvey split out wide to the left, Tony Hill to the right. Staubach from the shotgun. The Redskins do not appear to be thinking blitz, and they don't. Staubach does not get the first down. Put his head down. Apparently thought he had a big enough hole to get it, but couldn't. Carl Lorch cut him off.
Roger having some trouble. Last series he was intercepted. This time he decides rather than take a chance, he'll run for it. Well, watch this bunch react. Closed it right off. That's Carl Lorch making the tackle, and Butts was there too.
So it's a 4th down now. Danny White comes in. 4th and 1. Bobby Hammond back deep. Well, Washington Redskins.
He has run and he has passed before, but
again, there's confusion on the Dallas special teams as to how many men they should have on the field. Danny White hits the high sparrow that Bobby Hammond will fair catch with Benny Barnes right in front of him. And the Redskins will take over after a 41-yard punt by Danny White at their own 31-yard line. 7 minutes, 52 seconds left to play. The Redskins lead by 6 points.
Spread your wings. Introducing the new 1980 Thunderbird, a Thunderbird of new contemporary size that shows its elegant heritage wherever you look. And with its new size and a new 4.2-liter engine, this Thunderbird has excellent estimated gas mileage and also offers the first automatic overdrive option built in America, a new engineering breakthrough. The new size Thunderbird, a better idea for the 80s.
Whatever you do, that look just comes through. It's confidence, confidence. Millions of people each day help keep themselves dry the sure way. Take off your coat, America. Take off your coat to shore.
Sure keeps me so dry, I can take off my coat with confidence. Some sprays go on wet, but Sure goes on dry. It helps keep me dry all day.
Take the Cowboys 21.
Turnovers, Dallas 3 turnovers. The Redskins, none.
1st and 10, Washington at their own 31. That's Riggin. And Big John slants off the right side for about 3 or 4. Mike Hegman on the bottom of the pile is the first Cowboy to hit him.
Frustration now. Defense says we got to beat on some backs and make somebody cough the ball up. Malone doesn't fumble. Riggins doesn't fumble. Theismann's being very careful.
No turnover.
To get it.
As you said, Riggins 17 carries, 74 yards. And they've been tough yards for Riggins. Joe Theismann has called and executed a very intelligent, aggressive game. The Redskins lead 27-21. Draw play Riggins. Trying to get outside and will and does break tackles, and Riggins might be gone. Riggins is gone. John Riggins, 66 yards and a Redskin touchdown.
And the whole bench comes off now. The Washington team is in the Dallas end zone. The longest run of the year for Riggins. 33 yards was his longest carry.
Riggins run again.
Off the right side. Let's see what happens. Williams blocks on Dutton. Hegman's caught inside. Right there, Cliff Harris did not make the tackle. He's made $1 million in his time. He missed that one. And Thurman really makes it a run. Shows you how fast that 225-pounder is.
Riggins kept his balance, and there he is, carrying that football. Good block by Benny Malone as Mosley hits. Riggins now has 140 yards and 18 carries, and look at Joe Theismann. Think he's not happy about this situation. Washington 34, Dallas 21. And there he is.
They had a chance to stampede, and the Skins stayed together on the road, too.
Wade Manning again will be deep for Dallas. And again, Mosley hits one of those funny little kickoffs. This will be Ron Springs as he turns this one, and Springs gets around the outside, but there are 3 members of the Wild Bunch to take him out of bounds. Let's look at the touchdown again.
Okay, let's take a look at it. It's the draw play that comes out of this. Saul takes on Larry Cole. Stark cuts off the middle linebacker, Brunig. Williams goes on Dutton. Hegman gets caught inside, much the way what he did against Earl Campbell early in the year on Thanksgiving, and Cliff Harris simply missed the tackle. Who was that other block there?
That other block was by Benny Malone on Benny Barnes. And Riggins took advantage of cutting back inside that. And Dallas has a first down at their own 20. And now it's the Redskins 34, just about every play, and Springs is hit as soon as he catches it. That should be Lavender, shouldn't it? Wysocki is the first man out of there. CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Super Skates, the Pacific Synchronized Swimming Championships, and a report on Too Tall Jones and his fighting career and the developments.
A year ago, Pardee's team left this town on Thanksgiving night, demoralized and lost 5 straight games. And this season they've come back, and they are really a good, hot group of football players.
Nobody gave them a chance in the beginning of the year to do much. 500 at best. Now it looks like they're going to be the champion. Tony Hill, and it's almost picked off by Lavender. Lavender, the good, tight, close coverage on Tony Hill. New Orleans and Los Angeles. The Saints 27-14 over the Rams in the fourth quarter.
5:54. That's not a lot of time when you're looking at a 34-21 deficit. And Dallas had a very physical game in Philadelphia a week ago Saturday.
Roger Staubach is just 4 out of 10. 26-20 out of the Astros. Philadelphia still leading Houston. A big third down facing Dallas now. And the shotgun, Staubach comes out. Tucks under one tackler. It's Joe Jones that chases him. And the Redskins are looking better all the time. Third sack on Staubach today.
And the 7th one by Joe Jones, and he just goes in on passing situations. There's Dyron Talbot. There's Jones.
Redskins won 34-20 up at RFK Stadium. They're winning 34-21 at Texas Stadium. About to accomplish something that no other team has done in regular season in the 70s. Danny White roots it out of the end zone. It'll be Bobby Hammond fair catching at the 48 in Dallas territory. 39-yard kick by White. And the Washington offensive unit now comes on with a lot of confidence. 5:21 left to play in the game. Redskins leading the Cowboys by 13. Seattle 29, Oakland 24. Raiders not dead yet. Clock running at Texas Stadium with the Redskins leading Dallas 34-21. This time cuts back inside, fumbles, and the Cowboys have it, or had it. They fumbled again and again, and I don't know who's got it.
Cowboys had it at least once, but the Skins may have gotten it back.
Looked like Brunig had a chance, and they stood him on his head, and the ball came loose again, and we shall see. Redskins got it back.
Riggins trying to protect the ball and himself. Watch this scramble for it.
Cliff Harris had the ball for a minute. I saw the 3. I thought it was Brunig. He lost it. Kyle had a chance. And the ball winds up back in the possession of the Redskins. It's already been indicated by referee Bob Frederick.
They're still fighting for it down there.
Edie Lewis. Ron Saul made the recovery. Edie Lewis still on his back. And now up. And the clock again begins to tick. 4:15 now 4:15. Theismann will take as long as he possibly can in a huddle.
That ball hits the ground. The Redskins think it's theirs.
So far, that has been a true story. 8 seconds left on the 30 seconds clock. Clarence Harmon, Mike Forte. And this is Harmon. Fumble again. This time Dallas does have it. And the clock, of course, would stop on that change of possession. With 3:49 left to play, Randy White made the recovery. Not over yet.
I think Randy White may have made the contact. Let's see where it is. Looking right down the line, double team. Randy White gets knocked on the ground, and the ball comes home. Guy
Brown, I believe, is the man who hit it and knocked it loose. offensive unit quickly out of the huddle for Dallas. Preston Pearson and Jay Salvey both in the game as they operate the shotgun. Both teams with all of their timeout contingent remaining. Staubach throws, complete. It'll be a first down at the Redskin 45. Butch Johnson made the reception.
Redskins a little confused that time and may have had the wrong personnel on the field. Didn't get burned too badly. Here's the play. Butch Johnson gets inside that chuck that was trying to, just curls it in. Perfect throw. Cowboys need a lot of points.
Lavender up on the tackle. Again, it's shotgun. Clock running now. Here's the blitz. Staubach stays in. Tony Hill. A double juke didn't work. Again, it's Lavender on the coverage, but it'll be another Dallas first down at the 26-yard line of Washington. 18 yards on that pass completion.
Roger Staubach's got pretty cool nerves. He stayed right in there against the blitz and threw a perfect strike that time. Pressure from the offside by Colvin. Good tackle by Lavender.
Tony Hill gave him his best. Lavender hung right with it. 2.5 minutes now left to play in the game. Staubach operating from the shotgun. They fake the blitz. They don't. He stays. He throws. Springs. Touchdown, Dallas.
On the deck. Strikes by Roger Staubach. And still 2:20 on the clock.
Springs.
What an effort.
Hit by Waddy. And leg strength exhibited by Ron Springs. You think this is not a big extra point? Rafael Septien. But good. And it's 34-28. 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to play.
From the shotgun. Perfect throw. Boy, you're right. Leg drive.
By the way, immediately following football, 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety at the regular time.
Ecology tonight, huh?
Except on the West Coast, where it'll be seen at the regular time.
Talk about illegal dumping, perhaps, by chemical companies?
That seems to be the subject we'll be investigating tonight on 60 Minutes. Again, immediately following football, you'll see it 60 Minutes in its entirety. You'll see it at its regular time in its entirety on the West Coast.
All right, Patrick, at 2:20 now, do you onside kick it or do you kick it deep as you can?
I think with a situation like this, with the leg that Mark Mosley has, you kick it as deep as you can. Because if they recover, they're almost in his range right now. He kicks away. Bobby Hammond coming over to the sideline to chase it down. And steps out of bounds. Clock stopped with 2:14 left to play. 34-28. Washington over Dallas. Very cold in Dallas, and a lot of the fans had departed, but those who have stayed have come alive.
Remember, we have a substitute center in as Kuzil is out, and Ted Fritsch is in, number 66. Every handoff, every snap, very important now.
Crowd chanting defense now. That's a final score. The Saints 29, Los Angeles 14. Now the clock will start. Theismann wastes no time, goes right out. They dropped the ball, a fumble. Incomplete pass. Danny Buggs had it, dropped it, fell on it. It looked like a fumble, but they called it incomplete.
How about a lateral? It was awfully close.
How about that call? Jack Pardee. The Redskin coach has done a marvelous job no matter what the outcome of this game is. Those of you who watched Los Angeles and New Orleans, welcome to Texas Stadium, where the score here is the Washington Redskins 34, the Cowboys 28. Washington led at 1.17-0. Dallas took the lead 21-17. The Redskins came back. They led 34-21, and now it's 34-28. Theismann hits to Riggins. Riggins bowls out for about 8 yards. Randy White came and hit him. That's the final score, 29-24.
2-minute clock now will actually serve as a timeout and help Dallas, I guess. They'll keep theirs in their pocket.
And they have all three. 2 minutes left. The championship. You expect it to good when they're playing for the whole bunch, don't you?
Riggins has 153 yards rushing. Do that against Dallas, your name goes forever down here in one of these saloons. They don't forget.
With all that's going on here, that loss by Oakland eliminates them from the playoff picture now.
This is about a long yard to go on this third down. A very dangerous defensive line of scrimmage, but you've got to put everybody you can right on there and stack it.
The scoreboard says 3rd and 2. It doesn't look like they quite need 2 to get a first down. Theismann, don't forget, many times in situations like this, has utilized his own athletic ability and kept it on the rollout. He has Riggins. It looked like Malone might have been in motion, but he just took off the ball and they stopped Riggins. Larry Cole.
What a play. What a tackle by number 63. Watch this effort by number 63 on a great running back.
Dallas has used a timeout. Here's Cole.
Fritz tried to cut him off the offensive center, and the old man came to play.
And what a play. Not over yet.
RCA wants you to see the right color. Sunrise over the Grand Canyon. Does your television capture the color in all its intensity, in all its subtlety? Does it automatically show you the right shades of color? If not, wait till you see Color Track 1980. Color Track 1980, with 8 automatic color systems designed to lock even subtle shades of color on track. RCA is making television better and better.
Steve Wilson at the 25-yard line. Dallas used one of their timeouts, a 45-yard punt by Bragg. The Cowboys have the ball at their own 25.
Short passes and trick plays. If you've got a certain play that will get you about 20 and get you out of bounds, you're going to see it in this drive.
You will see everything they have, I am sure, in this drive here.
Pass, perhaps. We'll look for anything, right?
They operate, first of all, from the shotgun on 1st and 10. Staubach asking for quiet as he lines up deep. Watch that pass protection. Steps up inside, goes outside. Tony Hill, what a play. Clock still running. The ball was deflected. Hill came back and got it. On the line of scrimmage, and Staubach quickly throws out of bounds to stop the clock, and it slipped out of his hand. He was hit just as he let it go. Joe Lavender on the coverage, and if he had been looking, it might have been an interception.
You're supposed to waste that pitch. Look at the look that Tom Landry's given his quarterback.
Here it is.
This is the one they'll let you have. The Zebras will let you throw the ball out of bounds. They allow the quarterback to do that and stop it. But this one is low and behind Bird Lavender at the corner.
Looked like it slipped out of the hand of Staubach. Again, I remind you that 60 Minutes will be seen after this game is over in its entirety. It'll be seen at its regular time, of course, in its entirety on the West Coast. Injured Redskin player.
Bacon, is it?
Coy Bacon, yes. Who is and has been their best pass rusher, yelling at somebody in the Dallas offensive huddle.
Donovan has been battling Coy Bacon. There are two Pro Bowlers battling on the line of scrimmage.
And Carl Lorch moves in to take his place. Joe Jones stays at left defensive end.
You got to think about Tony Hill's capabilities and wonder if Drew Pearson is 100%. Let's see if Drew's in. I see Preston in there.
Here comes Brooks Johnson splitting wide to the right. Jay Salvey inside him. Preston Pearson in the game. Springs in the game. And Tony Hill wide to the left. Redskins again with a four-man rush, and the pressure is on Staubach. He ducks under it. Throws for Preston Pearson. He has it at the 33. They had Staubach and couldn't take him down. I think it surprised him as much as anybody else. 22 yards, a Dallas timeout.
I think it's Perry Brooks, number 69. Let's see where the pressure comes from. Under it, it is Brooks. Now a move to the left. Roger throwing strikes now and having to run to get it off.
We have Preston Pearson in single.
Fakes outside, cuts back in right behind the rookie linebacker Coleman. Calls for the catch.
Ray Waddy on the coverage. Perry Brooks had a full shot at Staubach, and he ducked under it. Rogers 22 of 38 for 300 yards.
And with 1:07 left, still needs a touchdown. Field goal won't do any good.
Wild card game next week, next Sunday. Pre-game at 12 noon in Philadelphia.
This is some vote being taken right here on the sidelines.
I'll tell you. First down, Dallas. They're at the Redskin 33. A minute, 7 seconds left to play. Washington leads by 6.
In a long time. 1:07, you can take your time now in any pattern you want. A crossing pattern all the way across.
One timeout left for Dallas. Shotgun formation. Low snap. Staubach scoops it up. Protection good. It's for Tony Hill. It's over his head. Ray Waddy and Joe Lavender back on the coverage. And it'll be 2nd and 10. Still over a minute left to play. Minute 1.
Defense, you're really checking the clock. You don't have any choice on offense. You need a touchdown and an extra point.
Really is unimportant, but Washington used a timeout earlier. So they only have 2 left. Dallas has 1.
Got to be careful about interference. That would be a caution if you're going in that secondary. Don't climb on anybody's back.
Got to be careful almost everywhere out there now as the 30-second clock now becomes a factor. Down to 5 seconds. They'll snap it soon. They just beat the clock. Staubach throwing. Pearson has it. Inside the 5 to the 7. Ray Waddy on the
timeout being called by the coach. Roger Staubach has never thrown any better strikes than he has in his 4th period. Pass protection. Pretty good. Great catch by Preston Pearson.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It'll be 1st and goal, Dallas at the 8. And watch him stand in there.
They kept the pocket clean and allowed him the time.
It looked like Dallas had taken complete charge. It looked like Washington had things under control first when they led 17-0. Then Dallas came back, and it appeared the game belonged to them. And then the Redskins regrouped and roared back. And now it's Dallas working.
And the experience factor is very important on both sides. Pearson's been with, what, 3 different teams that have been in the Super Bowl. Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Dallas.
He is the oldest running back in the NFL. Preston Pearson scored 1 touchdown. He's made a couple of clutch catches in addition to that.
Long way to go
Frederick now says starting.
Pearson's out, and Ron Springs is in.
Jack Pardee. Wow. Talk about pressure. Springs goes out, and Preston Pearson comes in and lines up behind Staubach. They operate from the shotgun, 45 seconds left to play. Staubach looking, throwing. Tony Hill has it knocked away. Ray Waddy on the coverage. Hill was the intended receiver. It'll be second down and goal from the 8.
Everybody gasped in the stadium. I've never seen so many people coming in and out. Some of them have come back and forth twice.
It is no wonder that they wind up with not enough or too many people on the field from time to time. Wilson now goes out. And I think they have the correct contingent there on second down and goal from the 8.
They've got 11.
Staubach lines up under center this time with Springs and Pearson behind him. He throws. Tony Hill got it. Touchdown, Dallas.
And now the extra point.
Don't forget what's coming. And don't forget either that Washington still has 2 timeouts left.
Look at this Dallas team in the other end zone now. Nobody wants to go to Philadelphia.
But you got to go. Earlier in the year. Septian is good.
What a drive by the Dallas Cowboys to get the touch. You go to the skill position, and Dallas has them here.
That was Lamar Parrish. Tom, to that Dallas offensive line. He had time to throw. Here's Septian. A high, deep kick. Chases Hammond back to the goal line. And Bobby Hammond streaks to the outside. Is down at the 25 where the Redskins will take over. They have 2 timeouts left. It looked as if the game was in the bag for Washington. You look at that frantic bench at the moment. Heisman will, of course, be the quarterback.
What a job. What a job the Skins have done with this team.
Mark Mosley, loosening up behind the bench, knows what might be facing him. Redskin kicker get hit from 50 yards. Those of you who watched Philadelphia beat Houston, welcome to a wild one at Texas Stadium. Outside is Harmon. Penalty marker goes down. Harmon does not quite get back to the line of scrimmage, I don't believe.
Will it be offensive holding?
Mike Hegman made the tackle. I started to say before that play began, those of you who watched the Eagles defeat the Houston Oilers, Texas Stadium has seen some this afternoon. Tom Brookshire and Pat Summerall here. Dallas trailed 34-21. It looked like the Redskins had it wrapped up. They have roared back with 2 touchdowns. They lead by 1 now.
Offensive holding, number 73, first down.
Jeff Williams. I have never seen a game shift back and forth as swiftly as this contest.
I don't think I have either. Washington still has their 2 timeouts left. John McDaniel out wide to the left. Harvey Martin chases Theismann and knocks him down and causes him to underthrow. 22 seconds left on the clock.
A big outside rush. Let's see where it comes from. Randy White stunning up the middle. Harvey Martin comes back behind it and reaches around and gets him by the shoulder pads.
Theismann again operates on 2nd down and 20. He drops, and again Harvey Martin chases and forces. Pass almost picked off by Cliff Harris. Intended for the tight end Don Warren. 16 seconds left to play down. Watch the defensive rush.
Just lay your ears back and go get it. Harvey Martin taking the inside. Randy White being hit. Thornton hitting just as Theismann got rid of it.
While we have a second, Roger Staubach threw 42 times. Completed 24 for 333 yards. Tony Hill caught 8. Springs caught 6. Preston Pearson caught 4. 3 wide receivers on the right side for Washington. Theismann throws back across field. He's got his tight end open. And a penalty marker goes down. It's Aaron Mitchell who lost sight of the ball.
And 9 seconds are still left on the clock. Here's the play. Watch how close Harvey Martin comes to making the sack, but somehow gets picked off. Against the grain, and face guarding will be the call.
Touchdown!
And don't forget Mark Mosley. 33 yards. That penalty cost. Mosley waiting. Hopes he is warm enough. They need to get about a first down to get him within range, and they have timeouts left to do it with.
Maybe I'm not cut out for this. I can't take a lot of this.
I don't think they take a chance on a running play. Maybe it's a draw and a quick timeout.
Gotta throw it.
Gotta throw, I think. Theismann on a sprint out. Does throw. Oh, overthrows. Even Mosley can't get it there from here, but that stops the clock with 5 seconds.
Good coverage by Guy Brown, the big linebacker. The Dallas people are still taking notes on the sidelines. Has Theismann been cool?
Throughout. 35-34 Dallas. The intended receiver was John McDaniel on that last play. Mark Mosley with his wild bunch towel tucked into his pants. Theismann is his holder. Theismann is his leader, and he's the quarterback at the moment.
Mosley has made a field goal from the 53-yard line.
That's his longest of this year. Theismann throws. He's got at the 41. Game is over. Game is over. They used the 5 seconds. The game is over. A completed pass. Wait a minute. The scoreboard clock says the game is over. It may not be. They may have 1 second left to play.
There are a lot of people down walking around on the field that are not players.
The argument still goes on. The scoreboard clock showed that the game was over, and it is. Dallas 35. Washington 34. The pass was complete. The Redskin tight end Don Warren down at the 40. It would have been an almost impossible effort for Mosley, but they could have tried it. I'm sure they would have. Here's the clock again. Let's see. Theismann throws. asking for timeout, but that's not his responsibility, is it?
I think the Redskins got an argument.